Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Am I heard? Sorry, this is not the vibes. Okay, okay. Can you guys hear the music? Oh my Jesus fucking crap. One second. 1 second. Hello, everyone. Welcome. We have a hand cam today. Hello. Hi, Aries. Hi, Nostalgic. I'ma have you up while driving to work. Okay. Chuta. The donut should be so cute. Yes, I drew it just now. I can hear it loud and clear. Okay, very good, very good. Wait, what? Hand holding? Nice to meet you. Anyways, today, do 6-7. Today I'm gonna read The Little Prince, and I was just gonna set a really like chill vibe, but then it started off like not very chill at all. 6-7 on my stream. I'm gonna have to make that a redeem. I wanted to make I forgot to make a redeem for like an accent that I wanted to do. Let me see, how do I do this again? Just edit like right now before we start the thing proper. Where is my stream alerts? Stream elements, I mean stream elements. Chat commands. No, that's supposed to be two. Also, please forgive me if you hear like loud sounds in the background. That's probably my dad like nagging at my brother to go to bed, which is a very normal occurrence in this household. So if you hear anything, please don't mind it. we're definitely a very chill stream here, okay? What if you do the Kage Bunshi no Jutsu? Hold on, let me look at my rewards. I wanted to add a redeem, which is for like a Valigo accent. Unfortunately, I am a boomer right now and I cannot locate where to do it. Under settings? Is it under settings? Sorry, I didn't add this in earlier. I forgot. It slipped my mind. Is it creator dashboard? Yeah, okay, viewer rewards. Viewer, okay, I see it. But it says like channel points, emotes, drops, rewards. Open rewards? I don't really see it now. My screen says like some bubblegum simulator infinity thing. Oh, okay, I found it. Custom, okay. Custom rewards. Jesus. Oh wow, that's so loud. Valley Girl. Yes. Okay, that's it. Amount? We'll give it like 2,000. I don't know. Great. Cool. Okay. Yeah, added it. Valley Girl, yes. It has been added. Okay, nice. How is everyone today? I know it's like 9:30 is like kind of early right now for me to it's kind of early. I have my Lee Hsien Loong cup today. If you guys don't know, Lee Hsien Loong was our ex-prime minister. Whenever he gave a speech, he would drink out of a small cup, which had like porcelain, like blue patterns on it. And people said that he used the cup to change his language. It's the magical language changing cup. So I have my Lee Hsien Loong cup today as well. I'm ready to Dong Dong Xiang now, not not the stream. That's very, very disruptive. When you drink, will you speak Nihongo? Uh, if it's redeemed, I guess. Yeah. How was your day today? It's a Wednesday. It's a hump day. I was like, what better day to do a chill reading stream than a hump day? I had pretty okay day today, but I'm like, after, let's just say after. That's right. Oh, okay. Oh, jeez. Why is it playing again? Why is it playing again? My thighs ache. It's because of the squatting, isn't it? I had to go outside for like work stuff today, and I'm like drained socially, so this is great. Like I can just chill tonight. This is exactly what I wanted tonight. Your notepad still on the screen. That's right, and that's because I thought, you know, it'll be nice to collect some quotes if we have any like interesting. Where am I pointing? If we have interesting quotes, we can put them in the notepad. Otherwise, it's fine. So I should do like a little text thing. Okay, let's not put the Yakuza to-do list. Quotable quotes. Yeah, I want to do something like that. Quotable quotes. The Little Prince went to Don Don Donkey. Don 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 Donkey. Donkey all day. Okay, that was a really high tension start. It's gonna be hard to keep this up. He started singing Miracle Shopping when I take my ass to Don Don Donkey. Sorry, I forgot the lyrics for that. Na 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 na. I had to like learn it for jam recently. I was like, I felt insane practicing it because I was in my room and I was just putting the Donkey song on, and I was like, what am I doing with my life right now? Shall we get started? The Little Prince in it. Can we redeem the no? Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. No knee camp for you. Although I can. Is this too much like privacy? Let me just see if I can pull up my X-ray. No knee cam. What the hell? Let me just try to find it. When I bring myself to Don Don Donkey. I'm joking, but we don't have to do it. You can show break. Yeah. Wait, let me pull it up without exposing other information, because oh. Wait, it's not showing up? What the hell? What the helly? What the heliante? What the helly berry? Save to gallery. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's see if it shows up. Why is it changing like that? It's so weird. I just want to show you guys a picture of my broken leg. Oh, okay, you guys ready? You guys ready for the broken knee x-ray? I'm laughing now, but it really hurt back then. This is the x-ray of my broken knee. Look how bad it is. It just broke, like it's separated. Maybe, I'm guessing, how long is that? Like 10 cm apart. And so the surgeon was like, I'm sorry, but you gotta do surgery. And I was like, oh, what is a surgery? I mean, I knew I was surgery, but like I didn't even know like what anything entailed. He went through a breakup. It got wait, what's it called? Broken up and reattached. Yes, but it is together now because bones usually heal in like 6 weeks or so. And it's just like the muscles around it that are recovering still, because they freaking they like put a screw in your knees, bro. So we fight, we break up, we kiss, we make up. You put 2 screws in, you screw it back up. You don't really wanna know, cause you really don't wanna know. Anyways, my sushi says hello. And right beside my sushi here, you can't really see, but Omorps. I didn't take the tag out. Gigantic tag. Do you want Omorps to be looking at you? Omorps. I don't know. He's not really following the theme. I have the other Omori figures here, like Basil and Aubrey are having a wheel of a time here. You don't really wanna break, no, oh. You don't really wanna know, oh. Yeah. Alright, let's see. Have you guys read The Little Prince before, just to get a sensing? Because if you haven't, this is your first time reading, this is my first time reading too. So this is perfect. We're gonna experience this book together, and it's like a short-ish book. I don't really know exactly like how long it's gonna take, but I'm gonna live react to it as well. And then also, like, if you have read it, please no spoilers, because that will make me very sad. Okay, I'm gonna stop stalling. We'll just start like shortly. 1 second. Do we want to hear some like galaxy music going on? Because right now it's forced music. Galaxy music. Since we're talking about The Little Prince. We got a playlist for this. Nice. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna get to it. So I'm playing a game, so I won't really be able to hear the BGM. Okay, girl. I'm gonna just put it up still. Okay. The Little Prince by, I can't pronounce the name, Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. It is, okay, let's read it properly. The Little Prince is a classic tale of equal appeal to children and adults. Oh, by the way, I will just do like reading in short breaks, like, so like we'll do maybe like 20 minutes pause kind of thing, so that it's not too draggy. I might lose track of time, so we can just I will just check in from time to time, take a little break. Yes. Okay, wait, what does it say? On one level, it is the story of an airman's discovery in the desert of a small boy from another planet. Wait, let me just move the mic like a little bit closer so you can hear me. Alright. The Little Prince of the title and his stories of intergalactic travel, while on the other hand, it is a thought-provoking allegory of the human condition. First published in 1943, the year before the author's death in action. This new translation contains Saint-Exupéry's delightful illustration. Oh my god, so the illustrations in here are like his actual illustrations. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to do a hand cam for this instead of just like reading the whole thing as a VTuber. Because there's so many cute illustrations in this book. I don't know what they are. Like I can't really tell what this is upon first view, but I'll just read it and try to make sense of it. So yeah, let's get started. Let's get started. All right, The Little Prince, Chapter 1. Let's freaking go. Gonna try to read it at like a comfortable pace so that it's not too slow and like not too fast either. Okay, let's go. Once, when I was 6 years old, I saw a beautiful picture in a book about the primeval forest called True Stories. It showed a boa constrictor swallowing an animal. Here is a copy of the drawing. It is like the snake, the boa constrictor, and then that's like a mouse looking thing, I think. It looks like a tornado. The book stated, boa constrictors swallow their prey whole without chewing it, whereupon they can no longer move and sleep for 6 months, digesting it. I then reflected deeply upon the adventures in the jungle and in turn succeeded in making my first drawing with a color pencil. My drawing number 1 was like this. It looks like two pieces of I don't know. It looks like a poopy. I showed my masterpiece to the grown-ups and asked them if my drawing frightened them. They answered, "Why should anyone be frightened by a hat? My drawing did not represent a hat. It was supposed to be a boa constrictor digesting an elephant." Really? Oh my god. Oh my god. Immediately I have to BRB, guys. Hi, okay, hi, I'm back. My mom came in. No, my mom came in. She wanted to like grab a shirt. I can't even have a chill stream, guys. This freaking household, I swear. Anyways, where was I? Yes, it was supposed to be a boa constrictor digesting an elephant. Sure. So I made another drawing of the inside of the boa constrictor to enable the grown-ups to understand. They always need explanations. My drawing number 2 looked like this. And it's like an elephant in some sort of like skin surrounding it. The grown-ups then advised me to give up my drawings of boa constrictors, whether from the inside or the outside, and to devote myself instead to geography, history, arithmetic, and grammar. Boring. Thus, it was when I gave up a magnificent career as a painter at the age of 6. I have been disappointed by the lack of success of my drawing number 1 and my drawing number 2. Grown-ups never understand anything by themselves, and it is rather tedious for children to have to explain things to them time and time again. So, I had to choose another job and I learned to pilot aeroplanes. I flew more or less all over the world, and indeed, geography has been extremely useful to me. I am able to distinguish between China and Arizona at a glance. Unlike some people, I think. Actually, I don't know where's Arizona. Where's Arizona? I don't actually know what's Arizona. Sorry. Arizona. Where is Arizona? Maps. Oh, oh, okay. It is like no west, southwest of U.S. Okay, cool. Uh, uh, uh. It is extremely helpful if one gets lost in the night. As a result of which, I have been in touch throughout my life with all kinds of serious people. I've spent a lot of time with grown ups. I have seen them at very close quarters, which I'm afraid has not greatly enhanced my opinion of them. Whenever I met one who seemed reasonably clear sighted to me, I showed them my drawing number one, Poopy, which I had kept as an experiment. I wanted to find out whether he or she was truly understanding, but the answer was always, "It is a hat." So I gave up mentioning boa constrictors or primeval forests or stars. I would bring myself down to his or her level and talk about bridge, golf, politics, and neckties, and the grown up would be very pleased to have met such a sensible person. Oh my god, let's talk about taxes. That is so fun. Chapter 2. Thus, I lived alone, with no one I could really talk to, until I had an accident in the Sahara Desert 6 years ago. Something broke down in my engine, and since there was neither a mechanic nor a passenger with me, I prepared myself for a difficult but what I hoped would be a successful repair. It was a matter of life or death for me. I had scarcely enough drinking water for a week. On the first night, I fell asleep on the sand 1,000 miles from any human habitation. I was far more isolated than a shipwrecked sailor on a raft in the middle of the ocean. So you can imagine my surprise at sunrise when an odd little voice woke me up. Oh my god. An odd little voice? I can do it. It said,
"Please draw me a sheep.
"What?"
Draw me a sheep."
I jumped up, completely thunderstruck. AC/DC? Hi banana, hello. I'm on chapter 2 of the little points. We're doing a hand cam, by the way. I'm not gonna do 6-7 as Eris has suggested just now. I'm not gonna do that. Donut hands? Yeah, this donut has hands. Please, I won't. Don't worry, I won't. Oh my god, can I mention like I was listening to guys play D&D like with nostalgia, and I was like having so much fun, and I continued like listening to it like a little podcast. I'm not done yet because it's like 9 hours, but it was like so fun to listen to. I love listening to like D&D podcasts because I listened to one called Dungeons and Daddies. It's exactly as it sounds. Yep. It's about like they like professional writers using D&D as a mechanic for storytelling, and I just really enjoy it. So I like listen to it in the background while I draw and stuff. But yeah, you guys are like so funny, and I think Dave Frank is such a good GM as well, like Dungeon Master. Yeah, Dungeons and Daddy. Yeah, I have a new request for Dave Frank's next session. Dungeons and Daddies. Like the podcast actually has like I think 4 of them, 5 of them, 4 of them play daddies, like the role of dads. He's a good DM. Yeah, like I think I really enjoy the voices that he makes. I would just like listen to the rest casually, and then like if you guys do another round of D&D, I would like love to pop in as well. Because when you guys took a break, I had to sleep already because that day I was so tired. I literally fell asleep to the stream, but I continued listening to it. So if you guys like continue, I'll like pop in, be like, oh my gosh, what's good? Okay, I'll continue my reading. Okay, so where we left off is this main character has heard a tiny little voice that asked him to draw a sheep. Period. I rubbed my eyes, blinked hard, and looked carefully around me, and I discovered an extraordinary little boy watching me gravely. Here is the best portrait I was able to draw of him later. This one. This is like the actual illustration of the author. Looks like that. You're my podcast now because I'm at work. Yay! Oh my god, all the best at work though. I'll be listening. Okay. It's like 9:30 here. It's not super late for me, but after I read this, I'll probably go to bed as well. So this is my bedtime story. Okay. Oops. Yes. But of course, my drawing is not half as charming as its model. It is not my fault. I had been discouraged by grown-ups in my career as a painter when I was 6 years old, and I hadn't learned to draw anything with the exception of boas. Boa means like the boa constrictor snake. From the outside and boas from the inside. So the author mentioned earlier that he tried to draw a boa constrictor, but it looked like this. It was a hat, but it was actually like an elephant that was wrapped inside of the boa constrictor's stomach. I therefore stared in total astonishment at this sudden apparition. Do not forget that I was 1,000 miles away from any inhabited region. By the way, I've not read Little Prince, so this is like my first time reading it, so yay! I've heard many good things about the story, so I'm excited. But my little chap did not seem to be either lost or dead tired or dying of hunger, thirst, or fear. He did not look like a child lost in the middle of the desert, 1,000 miles from any inhabited region. When I finally managed to speak, I said to him, "But what are you doing here?" Whereupon he repeated softly and gravely,
Please draw me a sheep.
This turned into horror genre. When a mystery is too overpowering, one dare not disobey. Absurd as it seemed to me, 1,000 miles from any human habitation and in danger of death, I took a sheet of paper and my fountain pen out of my pocket. But I suddenly remembered that my studies had been concentrated on geography, history, arithmetic, and grammar. So I told the little chap, a little crossly, that I did not know how to draw. He replied,
That doesn't matter. Draw me a sheep.
Since I had never drawn a sheep, I drew for him one of the two pictures I had drawn before. That of the boa constrictor from the outside, and I was astounded to hear the little fellow saying,
No, I don't want an elephant inside a boa. A boa constrictor is a very dangerous creature, and an elephant is very cumbersome. Everything is very small where I live. I need a sheep. Draw me a sheep.
So I drew. Why did you drew like a sheep with like a third eye? I mean, sure. He looked at it carefully and said,
No, that one is already very sick. Draw me another one.
And I drew. My little friend said gently and indulgently,
Don't you see that is not a sheep? It is a ram. It has horns.
It's a horns. It's the Baphomet. The author accidentally drew the symbol of a Satan. It is their true form. That's right. Once again, I made another drawing, but it was rejected too, like the previous ones.
This one is too old. I want a sheep that will live for a long time.
This little prince sounding a lot like an employer right now. A little too close for comfort.
Please make the logo smaller. Please make it bigger. No, I need it further away from the text.
Anyways, my patience had run out by then, and I was in a hurry to start dismantling my engine as soon as possible. So I scribbled this drawing, and I explained, that is only the box. The sheep you asked for is inside. I'm gonna do this for work. Like, you want a poster? I'm gonna draw a box for you and tell you the poster is inside. Schrodinger's poster. But I was very surprised to see the face of my young judge lighting up.
That is exactly the way I wanted it. Do you think this shape will need a lot of grass?
What the hell? Why?
Because where I live, everything is so small.
There should be enough grass for him. I have given you a very small sheep. He bent his head over the drawing.
Not so small that. Look, he has gone to sleep.
And that is how I met the little prince. This little prince kind of weird, not gonna lie. Chapter 3. It took me a long time to find out where he came from. The little prince who asked me so many questions never seemed to hear mine. It is thanks to the odd word, here and there, that everything was revealed to me. For instance, when he saw my aeroplane for the first time, I shall not draw my aeroplane, that would be far too complicated for me. He asked me,
What is that object?
It is not an object. It flies. It is an airplane. It is my airplane. And I was proud to be able to tell him that I could fly. He cried out then,
What? You dropped down from the sky?
Yes, I replied modestly.
Oh, that is funny.
And the little prince broke into a lovely peal of laughter which annoyed me to no end. I like my misfortunes to be taken seriously. So you two came from the sky. From which planet? I immediately perceived a ray of light in the mystery of his presence and at once questioned him. So you've come from another planet? But he didn't reply. He nodded gently whilst gazing at my aeroplane. It is true that on... What? It is true that on that you can't have come from very far away. And he sank into a long reverie. Then, taking my sheep out of his pocket, he contemplated his treasure. You can imagine how my curiosity was aroused by this half-confidence about the other planets. So, I tried to find out a little more. Where do you come from, my little fellow? Where is this, where I live, of which you speak? Where do you want to take my sheep? After a thoughtful silence, he replied,
What I like about the box you have given me is that he can use it as his house at night.
Of course, and if you are good, I shall also give you a rope to tie him up during the day, and a post to tie him to. But the little prince seemed shocked by my proposal.
Tie him up? What a funny idea.
But if you do not tie him up, he'll wander off and get lost. My friend burst out laughing again.
But where would he go?
Anywhere. Just straight ahead. Whereupon the little prince remarked gravely,
It wouldn't matter. Everything is so small where I live, and perhaps a little wistful.
Sorry, wrong voice. And perhaps a little wistfully, he added,
Straight ahead of oneself, one cannot go very far.
This is where he lives on a little planet.
Like me, I live on a donut planet.
Chapter 4. Thus, I had learned a second very important thing, that his planet of origin was scarcely larger than a house. But that did not really surprise me very much. I knew full well that apart from the large planets, such as Earth, Jupiter, Mars, and Venus, which have been given names, there are hundreds of others which are sometimes so small that it is difficult to see them through a telescope. When an astronomer discovers one of them, he does not give it a name but a number. He might call it, for example, Asteroid 325. I have serious reasons to believe that the little prince's planet of origin was the asteroid known as B612. This asteroid has only been observed once through a telescope by a Turkish astronomer in 1909. This is the illustration. He's looking. This is the, I guess it's the Turkish astronomer looking through a gigantic telescope. Alright. At the time, he organized a great demonstration of his discovery at an international astronomical congress. But because of his Turkish attire, nobody believed him. Grown-ups are like that. This is him presenting his findings. Fortunately for the reputation of asteroid B612, however, a Turkish dictator imposed European costume upon his subjects under pain of death. So the astronomer repeated his demonstration in 1920, dressed in an elegant suit, and this time everybody was convinced. If I have told you these details about asteroid B612 and revealed its number to you, it is on account of grown-ups. Grown-ups love figures. When you talk to them about a new friend, they never ask questions about essential matters. They never say to you, "What does his voice sound like? What games does he prefer? Does he collect butterflies?" They ask you, "How old is he? How many brothers does he have? How much does he weigh? How much money does his father earn?" It is only then that they feel they know him. If you were to mention to grown-ups, "I've seen a beautiful house built with pink bricks with geraniums on the window sills and doves on the roof," they would not be able to imagine such a house. You would have to say to them, "I saw a house worth 100,000 pounds." Then they would exclaim, "Oh, how lovely." Thus, if you said to them, "The proof that the little prince really existed was that he was enchanting, that he laughed, and that he wanted a sheep. Now, when you want a sheep, it proves that you exist." They will shrug their shoulders and will treat you as if you were a child. But if you say to them, "The planet he came from was asteroid B612, then they will be convinced and leave you alone with their questions. That is the way they are. One must not hold it against them. Children would show great understanding towards grown-ups. But of course, for those of us who understand life, we could not care less about figures. I should have liked to start the story like a fairy tale. I should have liked to say, "Once upon a time, there was a little prince who lived on a planet scarcely bigger than himself, and who had need of a friend." For those who understand what life is all about, it would have seemed closer to the truth. For I do not want my book to be read carelessly. I have experienced so much grief in setting down these memories. 6 years have already elapsed since my little friend left me with his sheep. If I am attempting to describe him, it is in order not to forget him. It is sad to forget a friend. Not everyone has had a friend. And I could become like grown-ups who are only concerned with figures. That is why I have bought a box of paints and some pencils. It is hard to take up drawing again at my age, having never made any attempts other than drawing a boa from the outside and a boa from the inside at the age of 6. I shall certainly endeavor to make my portraits as true to life as possible. But I am not at all sure of succeeding. One drawing is all right, another shows no resemblance at all to its subject. The height is not right either. Here, the little prince is too tall. There, he is too small, and I am not sure about the color of his suit. So I persist by trial and error and to the best of my ability. I shall also make mistakes about some more important details, but I must be forgiven for that. My friend never explained anything to me. Perhaps he thought I was like him, but unfortunately, I cannot see sheep through boxes. Perhaps I'm a little like grown-ups. I am getting old. I'm getting old. Let me just take a sip of water real quick. Yeah, he's like drawn. He's like, "This is the best I can do. All I got is 950. Chapter 5. Each day, I learned something about the planet, about the little prince's departure from it, about his journey. The information would come very slowly, following the course of the little prince's thoughts. Thus, it was that on the 3rd day, I heard about the catastrophe of the baobabs. What I know about baobabs is that they're like the really like thick trunk trees in Africa. When I was like doing a tree study the last time for art stuff, I don't know if it's referring to like the same thing. Unfortunately, I gotta count now. I hope you have a great time reading it. Yeah, sure. Have a good sleep. Good night. Good night. Power went out of work again. Oh no! Well, it's time to go home then. Bye bye! And then you just leave. Yeah. Who needs to work? Come on. Going home, yeah! It's time to go back. Yeah, like, it's a sign. It's a sign. Let's just go back. Who needs to work? Me? No, you don't. Don't be an adult. I just burped, sorry. Once again, it was thanks to the sheep, for suddenly the little prince questioned me, as if seized by a grave doubt.
It is true, is it not, that sheep eat
Oh my god, I should give the little prince like Paimon's voice, so that he can be annoying. I don't know if I can do it.
It is...
Oh my god, that's really high.
It is true, is it not, that sheep eat little shrubs?
It's a traveler from Gensh. Yes, that is true.
Ah, I'm glad. Paimon is glad.
I did not understand why the fact that sheep eat shrubs was so important. But the little prince added,
Therefore, they also eat baobabs?
what if you read the entire thing in Paimon voice, but the prince is the deepest lore? Just oh, that's so cracked.
I pointed out to the little prince that baobabs are not little bushes, but trees as tall as churches. And that even if he were to take a whole herd of elephants with him, the herd would not be able to eat up one single baobab. The little prince laughed at the idea of a herd of elephants.
One would have to pile them up on top of one another. But then he remarked wisely, before they grow to such a size, baobabs start out by being small. Doing moderation, I don't want to destroy your throat. No, it's okay, it's cool. I'll shut up and conk now before I say anything else. Okay, good night. Good night. Where was I? Sorry. Oh yes, he said one would have to pile the elephants up on top of one another before they grow to such a size. Okay, yes.
Baobabs start up by being small.
That is true. But why do you want your sheep to eat the small baobabs? He answered me,
Oh, come, come.
As if this was self-evident. I had to exert considerable mental effort to work the problem out for myself. It seemed that on the little princess planet, as on I want to show the drawings. I can't really. Oh, okay. I was trying to make out what this was. This is like the elephants being piled up on top of the baobab, I guess. It's like piling up. Then we have another illustration of the prince. What's he doing? See, he's shoveling the planet. I had to exert considerable mental effort to work the problem out for myself. It seemed that on the little princess planet, as on all planets, there are good plants and bad plants. Good seeds come from good plants, and bad seeds come from bad plants. But seeds are invisible. They remain dormant in the depth of the earth until one of them suddenly decides to wake up. It stretches itself, timidly at first, and then begins to push a charming little sprig inoffensively towards the sun. If it is merely a sprout of radish or a sprig of rosebush, it can be left to grow as it wishes. But if it is a weed, it should be torn out at once, as soon as it is recognized. No weeds in my yard, I'm telling you. No weeds. It so happens that there are some terrible seeds on the little princess planet. They were baobab seeds. The soil of the planet was infested by them. But if you intervene too late, you will never get rid of a baobab. It spreads over the entire planet. Its roots bore clear through it. And if the planet is too small, and if there are too many baobabs, the planet explodes. And the planet becomes Wakanda forever. It's like the tree in Wakanda, not gonna lie.
It is a question of discipline,
Said the little prince to me later on.
When you have finished your toilet in the morning, it is time to attend to the planet's toilet with great care. One must pull out the baobabs very regularly as soon as they can be distinguished from the rose bushes they resemble so closely when they are very young. It is very tedious work, but also very easy.
And one day he advised me to try and make a beautiful drawing so as to impress all this upon the children where I live. He said to me,
If they travel one day, it might be of use to them. It may be convenient sometimes to put off one's work until another day, but in the case of baobabs, it is always catastrophic to do so. I knew of a planet inhabited by a lazy man. He had neglected 3 little bushes.
So, basing my work off upon the descriptions of the little prince, I made the drawing you have just seen. Ta-da! I love the way that actually the author incorporates the drawings as part of the book. And this actually reminds me of like another book that I have called Strange Pictures. And it's a series by this Japanese author called Uketsu. And he has also written Strange Houses, which I have, and also his newest one is Strange Buildings. And so like the pictures itself like really play a role in the book, the story itself. Like it is part of the story. It is not just like depicting what the story is like, what is happening in the scene itself. It is like part of the story, and I really like this kind of like format. It's like almost like a visual novel crossed with comics kind of vibe. By the way, Strange Pictures by Uketsu is so good. Like if you guys want a book recommendation, I highly recommend it. It's like horror genre, but the way they narrate the story is so cool. Yes, okay. So basing my work upon the descriptions of Little Prince, I made a drawing just seen. Okay. I don't like to sound like a moralist, but the danger of baobabs is so little known and the risks are so considerable to whomever might get lost on an asteroid. For once, I make an exception to my reserve. I say, children, beware of baobabs. It is in order to warn my friends of a danger of which they, like me, have been unaware for so long that I have worked so hard over this drawing. My lesson was worth it. You may ask yourselves, why are there no other drawings in this book as impressive as the drawing of baobabs? I'm gonna say this picture is really impressive. It's very detailed. Just zoom in on that. Oops. It is in order to warn my friends of a danger of which they, like me, have been unaware for so long, that I have worked so hard over this drawing. My lesson was worth it. You may ask yourselves, oh wait, I just read that, sorry. I do this all the time. Anyways, the answer is simple. I have tried, but with the others, have not had the slightest success. When I drew the baobabs, I was driven by a feeling of urgency. I gotta draw the baobabs. Chapter 6. Ah, Little Prince. Bit by bit, I came to understand your sad little life. For a long time, your only entertainment had been the pleasure of watching sunsets. I learned that new detail on the morning of the 4th day, when you said to me, I am very fond of sunsets. Let us go and watch a sunset. But we must wait. Wait for what? Wait for the sun to set. Is what the picture is watching the sun. You looked very surprised at first, and then you laughed to yourself and said to me, I keep on thinking I am at home. Yes, indeed. When it is midday in the United States, the sun, as everyone knows, is setting in France. One would just have to travel in 1 minute to France to be able to watch the sun setting there. Unfortunately, France is too far away for that. But on your tiny little planet, all you needed to do was to move your chair a few steps, and you could watch the twilight falling whenever you felt like it.
One day I watched the sun setting 44 times,
You told me, and a little later you added,
You know, when one is so terribly sad, one loves sunsets.
"The day you watched those 44 sunsets, were you that sad?" I asked, but the little prince made no reply. He was extremely depressed. 44 times? I mean, insane. Chapter 7. On the 5th day, and once again thanks to the sheep, this secret of the little prince's life was revealed to me. Without any preamble, and as if it were the result of a silently thought out problem, he asked me abruptly,
If a sheep, if it eats bushes, does it eat flowers too?
"A sheep eats anything it comes across."
Even flowers with thorns?
"Yes, even flowers with thorns."
Then the thorns, what use are they?
I did not know. I was very busy trying to unscrew a bolt which had got stuck in my engine. I was deeply worried as the breakdown of my plane was beginning to look extremely serious to me. My drinking water was running out fast, and I could only fear the worst. "The thorns, what use are they?" The little prince never let go of a question once he had raised it. I was annoyed about my bolt, and I answered with the first thing that came to my mind. "Thorns are quite useless. Flowers have them out of sheer spite."
Oh,
But after a moment of silence, he said with a kind of resentfulness,
I don't believe you. Flowers are weak. They are naive. They reassure themselves as best they can. They believe that their thorns are terrible.
I did not answer. At that instant, I was saying to myself, if this bolt continues to resist me, I shall knock it off with a hammer. Once again, the little prince intruded upon my thoughts.
And do you actually believe that flowers...
No, I don't believe anything. I just answered any old how. I am busy with serious matters. He stared at me in total astonishment.
Serious matters?
He could see me with a hammer in my hand and my fingers black with engine grease, bending down over an object which seemed to him extremely ugly.
You talk just like grown-ups.
This made me feel a little ashamed of myself. Relentlessly, he added,
You're confusing everything, mixing everything up.
He was really quite angry. He shook his golden locks in the wind.
I know of a planet where there's a red-faced gentleman. He has never smelt a flower. He has never looked at a star. He has never loved anybody. He has spent all his time adding up figures, and all day he keeps on repeating, like you, I am busy with serious matters. I am busy with serious matters, over and over again. And he swells up with pride. But he is not a man. He's a mushroom.
A what?
A mushroom.
The little prince was now pale with anger.
For millions of years, flowers have been growing thorns, and for millions of years, sheep have still been eating flowers. And is it not worth trying to understand why they grow to such lengths to grow thorns which are of no use to them? Is the war between sheep and flowers not important? Not more serious and more important than the sums of the red-faced gentleman? And if I know of a flower which is unique in the world and grows nowhere other than on my planet, and that a small sheep can destroy it with a single bite, just like that, one morning, without realizing what it's doing, is that not important?
He blushed and continued,
If someone loves a flower of which there is only one on the millions and millions of stars, it is enough to make him happy when he looks at them for he can say to himself,
By the way, this is the picture of the flower, I think. Flower. He's very angry.
my flower is somewhere out there. But if the sheep eats the flower, it is for him as if all of a sudden all the stars went dark. And you think that is not important.
He's like, you little bitch. Hi, you guys. Did someone say red gentleman? But you're a mushroom. He could say no more. Oh yes, by the way, welcome, Migas. I'm reading The Little Prince. If you have read it, please no spoilers. If you have not read it, this is my first time reading as well. I'm currently on chapter 7, and we're just having a really chill time. Yeah. I think I'm about maybe I'd say like 1/5 kind of in. Yeah, around 1/5 in. So if you're working on something, please feel free to chill in here. Okay, let me continue. He could say no more because he was overcome with tears. Aww. He made the little prince cry. I'm uninformed of this tale. This story is like pretty popular. It's like a classic that it's a short read, but apparently it's a classic. So I've heard a lot of good things about it. Mushroom, that's a red cap. Night had fallen. I had dropped my tools. I couldn't have cared less about my hammer, my bolt, thirst, or death. There was on a star, a planet, mine, the earth, a little prince to be comforted. I took him in my arms and rocked him gently. I said to him, "The flower you love is in no danger. I shall draw you a muzzle for your sheep. I shall draw you a fence for your flower." I did not really know what to say to him. I felt very awkward. I did not know how to reach him, how to catch up with him. The land of tears is so mysterious. As an adult, I guess. Little prince! Little bitch. Sorry. Chapter 8. I soon learned to know this flower better. There had always been very simple flowers on the little prince's planet, with a single ring of petals, occupying very little space and no trouble to anybody. They would appear one morning in the grass and fade away in the evening. But one day, from a seed blown from no one knew where, a new flower had come up, and the little prince had watched very closely over the small shoot, which was not at all like any of the other shoots on his planet. It could have been a new kind of baobab. But the plant soon stopped growing and started to develop a flower. The little prince, watching the growth of an enormous bud, sensed that this could well lead to a miraculous apparition. But the flower continued her preparations for her beauty in the shelter of a green chamber. She chose her colors with great care. She dressed slowly, carefully arranging her petals one by one. She didn't wish to appear all crumpled like a poppy. She only wished to appear in the full glory of her beauty. Oh yes, she was very vain. Her mysterious preparations had lasted for days and days. And then one morning, when the sun was rising, she suddenly showed herself. Ta-da! Hello! Welcome! Well, there's a lot of pictures on this page. And having worked so hard and taken such care, she yawned and said, What voice do we give this one? Do we give it like a... I'm only half awake. Forgive me. I'm still quite disheveled. But the little prince couldn't restrain his admiration and exclaimed, "Oh, how beautiful you are!" "Am I not?" the flower replied gently. "And I was born at the same time as the sun." The little prince had to admit that she was not excessively modest, but she was so enchanting. I believe it's time for breakfast, she added a moment later. Would you be kind enough to attend to my needs? I'm just looking at the picture. He's watering the plant. He's watering the flower. And the little prince, totally abashed. Oh my god, is he flower sexual? Like, what's going on? At once fetched a can of fresh water and sprinkled the flower. Thus, it was that she began, from the outset, to torment him with her demanding vanity. One day, for example, referring to her 4 thorns, she said to the little prince, "Let them come, those tigers with their claws."
But there are no tigers on my planet,
objected the little prince.
And anyway, tigers don't eat weeds.
Is a picture of a tiger eating the flower. It's very faint, like a silhouette almost. But I'm not a weed, the flower replied sweetly.
Please forgive me.
I am not afraid of tigers, but I hate droughts. You wouldn't have a screen for me by any chance?
A horror of droughts. That's really bad luck for a plant,
remarked the little prince, thinking to himself,
this flower is indeed a very complex creature.
In the evening, I want you to put me under a glass dome. It is very cold here where you live, and rather uncomfortable. Now, where I come from... Too late, she interrupted herself. She had arrived as a seed. She could not have known anything about other worlds. Embarrassed at having been discovered preparing such a naive lie, she coughed a couple of times so as to confuse the little prince. Where is the screen? Okay, so he's just kind of like pouring water in the pictures, giving the flower a little bit of water, hydration. I would like to give myself some hydration as well. Sippy.
I was gonna fetch it, but you were talking to me.
Whereupon she coughed a little more so that he could feel remorse. So the little prince, in spite of the goodwill his love engendered towards her, came gradually to doubt her. He had taken words of no importance seriously and became very unhappy.
I shouldn't have listened to her,
he confided to me one day.
One should never listen to flowers. One must admire them and breathe their fragrance. Mine perfumed all my planet, but I did not know how to enjoy her. The tail of claws which irritated me so much should simply have touched my heart.
And he confided further.
At the time, I was unable to understand anything. I should have based my judgment upon deeds and not words. She cast her fragrance and her radiance all over me. I should never have run away from her. I should have guessed at the affection behind her poor little tricks. Flowers are so inconsistent, but I was too young to know how to love her.
Something to do with like romance or something? Kind of, like I can feel like there's another layer to this. Chapter 9. I suspect that for his escape, he took advantage of the migration of wild birds. On the morning of his departure, he put his planet in perfect order. He carefully swept his active volcanoes. He possessed 2 active volcanoes, and they were very convenient for heating his breakfast in the morning. What's this, like Legend of Zelda? He also had a volcano which was extinct. But as he pointed out, you never know. So he also cleaned out the extinct volcano. If they are properly swept, volcanoes burn gently and regularly without any eruptions. Volcanic eruptions are like chimney fires. On Earth, of course, we are far too small to sweep our volcanoes. That is why they cause us so much trouble. The little prince tore up, not without a sense of sorrow, the last little bulbous shoots. He believed that he would never have to return, but all these familiar activities seemed very precious to him on that last morning. Oh, he's going somewhere. And when he watered the flower for the last time and prepared to place her under her glass dome, he felt like crying.
Goodbye,
he said to the flower, but she did not answer him.
Goodbye,
he said again. The flower coughed, but it was not because she had a cold.
I've been silly, she whispered at last. Please forgive me. Try to be happy.
He was surprised at the absence of reproaches. He just stood there, quite bewildered, with the dome poised in mid-air. He did not understand this quiet sweetness. Of course, I love you, the flower said to him. If you were not aware of it, it was my fault. That is not important, but you have been just as foolish. Try to be happy. Leave that dome alone. I don't want it any longer. But the wind? My cold is not that bad. The cool night air will do me good. I am a flower.
But what about animals?
I shall have to put up with a few caterpillars if I want to see butterflies. I understand they are very beautiful. Otherwise, who will ever call upon me? You will be far away. As to large animals, I am not afraid of them. I have my claws. And, as naive as ever, she showed her 4 thorns. Then she added, Don't hang about so. It's irritating. You have decided to leave, so leave. Back in front of PC. Yeah! Welcome back. I'm also in front of my PC. Twinsies! For she didn't want him to see her crying. She was a very proud flower. I wonder what a metaphor this is for. I can't really tell if it's like romance or not. I feel like this one of the things where the literature students would like study to death. I'm not quite 100% getting it. I'm just gonna read it and then I'm just gonna decipher it afterwards. By the way, he is shoveling and sweeping his volcano. Chapter 10. What is this? I can't really tell what's going on with this picture just yet, so I'm just gonna read it first. He found himself in the neighborhood of the asteroids 325, 326, 327, 328, 329, and 330. So he started by visiting them to look for an occupation and to add to his knowledge. Oh, is this supposed to be the Little Prince? The first one was inhabited by a king. Clad in purple and ermine, he was seated on a throne, both simple and majestic. Oh, this is the king. He's a royal king. Hi, Lord Opancat. Thank you for redeeming Stretch Donut Hole. Okay, I'm gonna stretch real quick. Everybody stretch now. Okay. Nice. Drink some water. I hope you guys are having chill time. I'm just reading The Little Prince. I have not read The Little Prince before. Right now I am on page 42 and it is about this much into the book. About this much. Oh my god, we're almost halfway there. I heard that this book was indeed a very short read. Oh, next time I would love to read to you guys like Strange Pictures if you guys want to read Strange Pictures. Like I love that book to death. It is so good. Go to stream to do my assignments too. Hell yeah. I'm glad you're having a good time. Okay, it's like 9:30 here p.m. Wait, it's no longer 9:30. It's we start at 9:30. It's 10:46. It's been over an hour. But yeah, okay, I think after this chapter we'll just like have a short break and then we'll come back to it. But yeah, and then if you're doing your assignments, you can also have like a short break as well. Give yourself that toilet break or something. Okay, yeah, so he has seen a prince. So far he has seen the flower, which he was just like At first, he was like, "Oh, you're asking for too much," and Flo was like, "You know what? It's never mind, man. If you don't want to do it, fine." I have yet to really decipher what it means, what it all means, but we'll see. We'll see at the end of it. Okay. "Ah, here comes a subject," exclaimed the king when he spied the little prince. I should give him like a British accent, maybe. "Here comes a subject." Yes. And the little prince wondered to himself,
How can he recognize me since he has never seen me before?
he did not know that for kings the world is greatly simplified. To them, all men are subjects. "Come a little closer so that I may be able to see you better," said the king, inordinately proud of having someone to be king over at last. The little prince looked around to find a place to sit down, but the entire planet was covered by the magnificent ermine robe. So he remained standing, and since he was tired, he yawned. "It is contrary to the etiquette to yawn in the presence of a king," said the monarch. "I forbid it."
I cannot help it, replied the little prince in confusion. I have come on a long journey and I haven't slept at all.
"In which case," said the king, "I order you to yawn. I have not seen anybody yawning for years. Yawns are a curiosity to me. Come now, yawn again. It is an order."
You are frightening me. I cannot yawn anymore.
You better yawn, bro. You better yawn. On command, said the little prince, blushing. "Hum, hum," replied the king. "Then I order you sometimes to yawn and sometimes to—" He spluttered for a bit and seemed vexed, for the king attached considerable importance to his authority being respected. He tolerated no disobedience. He was an absolute monarch. But as he was very kind, he gave reasonable orders. "If I ordered a general," he would say, "if I ordered a general to change himself into a seabird, and if the general did not obey, it wouldn't be the general's fault. It would be my fault for ordering him to do the impossible."
May I sit down?
asked the little prince shyly. "I order you to sit down," replied the king, majestically gathering a fold of his ermine robe around him. But the little prince was puzzled.
The planet was tiny. Over what could this king really rule?
Psst. Oh, sorry, that was not meant to be read in his voice. The planet was tiny. Over what could this king really rule? Yes, that was supposed to be the narrator.
Sire, he began, please excuse my asking you a question.
"I order you to put your question to me," the king was quick to reply.
Sire, over what do you rule?
"Over everything," replied the king very simply. Over
everything?
The king made a sweeping gesture, taking in his own planet, the other planets, and the stars.
Over all that?
Said the little prince. "Over all that," replied the king. For he was not only an absolute monarch, but a universal one.
And the stars obey?
"Of course," said the king. "They obey immediately. I do not tolerate insubordination." The little prince marveled at such power. If he possessed it, he could have watched not 44, but 72, or even 100 or 200 sunsets in one and the same day without ever having to move his chair. And as he was feeling rather sad, remembering his small abandoned planet, he plucked up his courage to ask the king a favor.
I should like to see a sunset. Please, do me that kindness. Order the sun to set.
"If I were to order a general to fly from one flower to another like a butterfly, or to write a tragedy,
ought to change himself into a seabird, and if the general did not carry out the order, which one of us would be at fault?
It would be you,
said the little prince firmly. Exactly. One must demand of each and every one what he or she is capable of. Authority is first and foremost based on reason. If you order your people to throw themselves into the sea, you will have a revolution on your hands. I have the right to demand obedience because my orders are reasonable ones.
What about my sunset?
The little prince reminded him, for he never forgot a question once he had asked it. You shall have your sunset. I shall demand it. But in accordance with scientific government, I shall wait until conditions are favorable.
And when will that be?
Asked the little prince. Replied the king, consulting his big calendar. It will be around. It will be this evening about 20 minutes to 8, and you shall see how well I am obeyed. The little prince yawned. He regretted having to miss the sunset, but he was becoming a little bored.
I have nothing more to do here. But father, when can I leave to be on my own?
He said to the king.
So I'll be on my way.
Don't leave, said the king, who was too proud of having a subject. I'll make you a minister.
A minister of what?
Of justice.
But there is nobody here to judge.
We do not know that, said the king. I haven't yet made a complete tour of my kingdom. I am very old, and walking makes me very tired, but there is no room here for a carriage.
Oh, but I have already looked, said the little prince, bending down to give one more glance to the other side of the planet, just to be sure.
Then you shall judge yourself, answered the king. That is the most difficult thing of all. It is far more difficult to judge oneself than to judge others. If you succeed in judging yourself rightly, then indeed you are very wise.
As far as I'm concerned, said the little prince, I can judge myself anywhere. I do not have to live here.
Hum, said the king. I believe that somewhere on my planet there is an old rat. I can hear him at night. You can judge that old rat. You will condemn him to death from time to time. Thus his life will depend upon your justice. But on each occasion you will spare him so as to keep him alive. He is the only one we have.
I, replied the little prince, do not like to condemn anything to death, and I think I'll be on my way.
No, said the king. The little prince, having completed his preparations, had no wish to hurt the feelings of the old monarch.
If your majesty wishes to be promptly obeyed, you should give me a reasonable order. You could, for example, order me to be gone in less than a minute. It seems to me that conditions are favorable.
As the king said nothing, the little prince hesitated a moment, and then, with a sigh, took his leave. I make you my ambassador, the king called after him in haste. He had a magnificent air of authority.
Grown-ups are very strange,
said the little prince to himself, continuing on his journey. And that was chapter 10. I guess he found a really weird person, really weird king, that was like kind of like reminds me of like a tyrannical boss who was like, you shall do this and you shall do that, and I am very reasonable, but also do this thing that is very not reasonable at all. And so the little prince, like, no, fuck you, I'm good. Okay, before I go on to chapter 11, let's take a quick break. Let's see, let's do maybe like a 2-minute break or something. 5-minute break will be good. Let's do a 5-minute counter. 5-minute timer. 1 second. Where is that website that I usually use? I can't find it. Is it this one? Ah, yes, okay. Short break. Okay, yes. Oh, let's do a 5-minute break, and I'll be right back with chapter 11. I guess so far, like, we've seen quite a bit of characters that the little princess met. She's met a bunch of oddballs. Okay, I'll be right back. Maybe fetch some more water for myself as well. BRB. Wait, hold on. Let me put on the counter. Ta-da! Wait, where is it? Oh, it's hidden. Nani? Ah, yes. Okay, I found it. This is I can't talk. The timer. Iframe! Oh my god, we're just gonna have a quick break, and then I'll go back to chapter 11, where chapter 11, the chapters are really short, so yeah. BRB, okay? I'm gonna be right back. We're still doing the break. How are you, Frame? Welcome, welcome. I am I almost said I'm drawing. I'm not drawing, I'm reading The Little Prince. So far I don't really fully I'm not gonna lie, right? I don't really fully grasp the specific characters, but maybe it'll make sense after I read more. So far I think the king being like kind of like contradicting himself as an adult is kind of like, I get that. The flower, I'm not too sure what it's trying to depict. Maybe like a romantic interest or something, but I'm not too sure yet. But yes, I will do chapter 11 in a bit. And if you are working on something or just chilling, just feel free to come in and chill as well. Yes. Ugh. I love the little reading donut in the bottom.
I drew it right before stream. I was like, actually, we need a little reading donut. And I was like, okay, I will. And I drew it like super quick. I actually wanted to do like a normal non-reading donut as well, but I didn't have time for that, so we just have one reading donut today. And I think it works fine, so. Yes. How was your day, by the way? How was your day? Oh my god. Beep, 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 beep. Yay. Okay. I'm not gonna start like immediately, but wait, is the music playing here? Close that real quick. Super cute, thank you. Today's super slow work day. Are you still working? 1 hour left, but I might just go home, man. Just go home. Listen, no one's gonna know. Just go home. That's what I do all the time. If no one's there, I'm just like, why am I still here? Just go. Take me with you. Go home, guys. But if you are stuck at work, I am here to make your day a little less insufferable, I guess. Oh yeah, you can do a jump. Oh yes, I can do this thing. I don't really use this actively, but like I can give a bunch of like stars. Whee! Whee! I got a coworker who should be coming soon, and then I'll show him what to do and then dip. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You do just that. Like, oh yeah, I need to go already, so like, it'd be super cool if you could just help, like, cover me while I do that. Oh, and do all that stuff for me, thanks. What else? I have like, what is this? Spawn avatar. Oh my jeez. Oh, I just made a rando, I'm sorry. Whoa, what the hell? Why is it fighting everyone? I forgot all the commands for this. Apparently there's like a list of commands if you do like exclamation avatar or something. Can't remember. Okay, that's not it. That's not it at all. Oh yes, by the way, Frame, look at the keyboard. It has a donut. Yeah. And also donuts here. The donuts. I kind of like kept the rest because I quite like the colors. Because as you know, I'm a big fan of like a teal and orange combination. But I have incorporated what I can. We still got to the custom donuts for oh yeah. If you're available for that, sure. Been talking about that yesterday. Let's go. Like I would like try to refresh my memory of how to change it again. I'm sure it's not that hard. Thank you, but only do it if you're free. I was also saying, okay, like this book so far, like there has been a lot of illustrations here and there, and these are illustrations by the author himself, which is Antoine de Saint-Saëns. I don't know how to pronounce it. Saint-Saëns. Exupéry, French. But like yeah, the pictures in the book kind of also like play a role in the story itself, so it kind of like makes the story very immersive. Some of it, like this one, is just depicting what's happening, but also like some of them are like pictures that the narrator is like drawing as well, which I thought was really cool. It reminded me of another book called Strange Pictures, which is a horror series, like horror thriller by a Japanese author called Uketsu, and the pictures are like the pictures drawn by the characters, and I really like that book a lot. After the debut, yeah, sure, okay, yeah, no worries at all. I'm trying to recall where I put my Strange Pictures book, if I even took it out. 1 second, let me see if I have it, because I would love to show you guys. 1 second. Nothing's changed at all. But if you close your eyes. Oh, I think I put it in my other box, which has a pile of stuff on it right now. One second. Oh, I got like a bunch of containers over the Chinese New Year sale, so I'm gonna be able to have like large containers for me to organize all my stuff. I have like a bunch of like random papers that I would love to shop in big containers. Yeah, I found it. Okay. Oh. Let me just show you. So I have these two books by Uketsu. Strange Pictures. I highly recommend this. These pictures they look so creepy. And you can like guess what they mean or like the context, but you will never guess what they mean. And once you learn what they mean, and now that I've finished the book and I'm looking back at it, it's like holy shit. And the story kind of like sticks with you for super long. I also bought this book by Uketsu called Strange Houses. I haven't read this one yet, but I will get to it soon. I finished this book so fast. It was so awesome. Yeah, I could also read it next time if you want. Now I gotta put everything back. My god. Oh my god, that is not going in. That's what she said. One moment, what? Okay. Okay. Cool. Welcome to my extremely chill stream. Okay, let's get back into the story. Oh. You guys want to see my Silas keychain? Which is hanging here. Yes. Anyways, chapter 11. Let's go. Sip some water. You guys better hydrate yourselves too. Okay. Chapter 11. The second planet was inhabited by a conceited individual. I'm deciding what voice to give this one.
Aha! Here comes an admirer,
He exclaimed as from afar he caught sight of the little prince. This is what he looks like, by the way. It's a dapper gentleman here. How do I show you? Dapper gentleman. On another planet. So now the little prince is like on a world tour, I guess. He's like going to different planets, meet different people.
Good morning, said the little prince. You are wearing a funny kind of hat. It is a hat for salutes, the conceited man replied. To raise when people acclaim me. Unfortunately, nobody ever comes this way. Indeed, said the little prince, who did not understand what the conceited man was talking about. Clap your hands, the conceited man advised. The little prince clapped his hands. The conceited man raised his hat in a modest salute. This is more fun than my visit to the king, the little prince said to himself, and he tried clapping his hands again. The conceited man once again raised his hat in salute. After 5 minutes of this exercise, the little prince grew tired of the monotony of the game. And to make you lower your hat, what should one do? He asked, but the conceited man didn't hear him. Conceited men only hear praise. Do you really admire me very much?
He asked the little prince.
What does admire mean? To admire means that you consider me the handsomest, the best dressed, and the richest and the most intelligent man on this planet. But you're all alone on your planet. Do me this kindness, admire me all the same. I admire you, said the little prince with a slight shrug of his shoulders. But why should that mean so much to you?
And the little prince went away.
Grown-ups are really very odd,
he said to himself as he continued on his journey. Okay, this is like the shortest chapter ever. He's on his world tour. He's just like, man, this person's weird. And he's like, nah, I'm out, man. I'm good. So far, I don't have any like quotable quotes. But I will add one now, which is grown-ups are really very odd. Because period. Where is my text thing? Text. Oh wait, that's not it. Grown-ups are really very odd. Cool. Okay, so he's going to a third planet now. Chapter 12. The next planet was inhabited by a drunkard. This visit was a very short one, but it affected the little prince with deep sadness. This is the drunkard, by the way. He's like just chilling on his planet.
What are you doing here?
He said to the drunkard, who he found sitting silently in front of a collection of bottles, some empty and some full. I'm drinking, answered the drunkard, lugubrious. What is this word? What is lugub? Sometimes it's like I thought I seen a lot of English words and then things like this appear. Lugubriously. I'm gonna have to search that up real quick. Lugubriously. Lugubrious. Looking or sounding sad or dismal.
Lugubrious.
Lugubrious.
Expecto Petroleum.
Lugubrious.
Lugubrious. Okay, cool. Lugubriously.
Why are you drinking?
The little prince asked. In order to forget, replied the drunkard.
To forget what?
Inquired the little prince, who was already feeling sorry for him. To forget that I am ashamed, the drunkard confessed, hanging his head. Word of the day, lugubrious. Ah, what a lugubrious day you're having, huh? I'm here to keep you a little bit entertained for your work day, your lugubrious work day. That's not how you use the word. It's not how you use the word. It's to be sounding sad. Oh, so it should be more like, oh, you're really lugubrious today at work. One for the books. I'm Mikasho. He sounds like Eeyore from Winnie. Yeah, that's what I was intending. Yeah, because he's a sad drunkard, so he's like Eeyore. Yeah, okay.
Ashamed of what?
Asked the little prince, who wanted to help him. Ashamed of drinking, concluded the drunkard, withdrawing into total silence. And the little prince went away, puzzled. Grown-ups are really very, very odd, he said to himself as he continued his journey. Okay, so he saw this was the most lugubrious chapter so far. Very short one, too. Chapter 13. The fourth planet belonged to a businessman. He was so busy that he didn't even look up when the little prince arrived.
Good morning,
the little prince said to him. Your cigarette has gone out. Okay, what voice should we give this one? This is what he looks like. I don't know what he's supposed to look like, to be honest.
What does he look like? He looks like Chewbacca. What voice should we give this one? I'm trying to make out, like, is that his eye? These ones at the bottom are his eyes? Chewbacca? Oh my god, I do not know what Chewbacca sounds like. I will have to get a reference for that. Chewbacca voice. There are Chewbacca sounds. Chewbacca voice though? I'm afraid it's gonna be a little bit difficult to replicate.
Chewie, come here.
Laugh it up.
This is just like,
fuzzball.
this is just all his dialogue.
Somebody get this.
I'll be like, good morning, Sailor Prince said to him. Your cigar has gone out. And then his next dialogue is,
Big walking carpet out of my.
Well, you said it, Chewie.
Let's just go with something like this, I guess. 3 plus 2 make 5. 5 plus 7 make 12. 12 plus 3 make 15. Good morning. 15 plus 7 makes 22. 22 plus 6 makes 28. No time to light it again. 26 plus 5 make 31. Phew. Then that makes 501,622,731.
I hope you're happy with this voice.
500 million of what?
Are you still there?
Oh my god, I will give someone an anime voice later, an anime protag voice, but I'll save it for later.
Are you still there? 501 million of... I don't remember. I have so much work. I'm a serious man. I don't amuse myself with balderdash.
Oh my god, what is balderdash? Is it like nonsense? Balder? This is the word, by the way. Where is it? Ah, here. Balderdash. Meaning senseless talking or writing or nonsense. One for the books. Balderdash is what you're doing at work right now. What a lugubrious feeling doing a bunch of balderdash.
2 and 5 make 7.
Oh wait, I already read that, sorry. The businessman raised his head.
During the 44 years that I have been living on this planet, I have only been disturbed 3 times. The first time was 22 years ago by a cockchafer. Holy shit, wait, what's a cockchafer?
Okay. I'm learning a lot of new words today, and cockchafer was not one of those that I was expecting.
Cockchafer.
An actual cockchafer. A large brown European beetle which flies at dusk and is a destructive plant pest, both as an adult and a larva. Oh, this is what the cockchafer looks like. One moment. Where's my window for it? A cockchafer, by the way. Loki, it sounds like Goofy. Oh my god, you're right. In the end, it's just Goofy. Words of the day. Lugubrious balderdash, and now we have cockchafer. Please add that to the list. You know what? Instead of quotable quotes, it should be like new vocab. The cockchafer, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I'm gonna just change it real quick because I think it makes more sense to collect new words instead of quotes at this point. What do we have again? We have okay, wait, new vocab. Lugubrious, which is like sounding sad. And then we have balderdash, which is like nonsense. And then we have cockchafer, which is like an actual bug.
Oh my god, guys. Such an educational stream. A cooler guy. He's very cute. Like, look at this. It's so cute. Looks like an axolotl. Not so much. This one. Kind of cute though, not gonna lie. The larva. Ew. Anyway, oh my god, sorry, I just burped. I'm so sorry. Okay. Okay. Now that we know what a cockchafer is, let's get on with it. The first time was 22 years ago by Cockchafer, who dropped down from a goodness knows where. He made the most awful noise, and I made 4 errors in my sums. The second time was 11 years ago by an attack of rheumatism. I don't get enough exercise. I have no time for slacking. I am a serious man. This is what a serious man looks like. Very serious man. The third time? Well, this is it. As I was saying, 501 million.
Million of what?
The businessman suddenly realized that there was no hope of being left in peace.
Of those small objects one sometimes sees in the sky. Flies?
Oh no, small glittering objects.
Bees?
No, small golden objects that set lazy men to idle dreaming. But I am a serious man. I have no time for idle dreaming.
Ah, you mean the stars?
Yes, that is it. The stars.
And what do you do with 500 million stars?
501,622,731? I am a serious man. I'm accurate.
And what do you do with 500 million stars?
101,622,731.
And what do you do with them?
And what do I do with them?
Yes,
Nothing. I own them.
you own the stars?
Yes.
But I have already seen a king who...
Kings own nothing. They reign over. It is quite different.
And what use is it to you to own the stars?
It makes me rich.
And what's the point of being rich?
It enables me to buy other stars if anybody can find any.
This man, the little prince said to himself, reasons a bit like my drunkard.
Nonetheless, he put a few more questions.
How can one own stars?
Whose are they? The businessman asked peevishly.
I don't know. They don't belong to anyone.
In which case, they are mine, because I was the first person to think of it.
Is that sufficient?
Of course it is. When you find a diamond that belongs to nobody, it is yours. When you discover an island that belongs to no one, it is yours. When you are the first to have an idea, you take out a patent on it, it is yours. And I own the stars because nobody else before me thought of owning them.
That is logical, said the little prince. And what do you do with them?
I manage them, I count them, and recount them, said the businessman. I am a man concerned with matters of consequence. The little prince was still not satisfied.
If I owned a silk scarf, I could put it around my neck and take it away with me. If I owned a flower, I could pick it and take it away with me. But you cannot pick stars.
No, but I can put them in the bank.
Whatever does that mean?
It means that I write down the number of my stars on a piece of paper, and then I put it in a drawer and lock it with a key.
And is that all?
It is enough.
Quite amusing, thought the little prince.
Rather, the little prince is morphing into the bank.
Oh, rather poetic. rather poetic, but an exercise of no real importance.
Oh no. The little prince's ideas about what was important were very different from those of grown-ups. I myself own a flower which I water every day. Oh, sorry, that was supposed to be the little prince. Oh no. Oh no, guys, he's completely morphed into Chewbacca. Oh no! Oh no, I own a flower.
I myself own a flower which I water every day,
He told the businessman.
I own 3 volcanoes which I clean out every week. I also include the one which is extinct. One never knows. It is good for my volcanoes and good for the flower I own. But you are of no use to the stars.
The businessman opened his mouth, but found nothing to say, and the little prince went on his way.
Grown-ups are certainly absolutely extraordinary,
he said to himself as he continued on his journey. This businessman reminds me of people who are like, oh my god, AI. Oh my god, Gen AI. And then the little prince is like,
but like, if you like create like a bunch of like AI slop, like, would that, like, what do you contribute to the art world?
And then the AI people are like, oh, well, I make a lot of AI art. And Prince is like,
what the hell? I'm out of here.
Okay, chapter 14. This prince has met all weird people so far. Chapter 14. I'm gonna drink some water first. Alright. Very accurate. Yeah, businessman. I got it. I got their metaphor for that. Maybe that's going to be the sequel? Oh no, I hope not. The 5th planet was very strange. It was the smallest one of all. There was just enough room for a lamp post and a lamp lighter. The little prince wondered what could be the use of a lamp post and a lamp lighter somewhere in the sky on a planet without houses or people. Nonetheless, he said to himself,
perhaps the lamp lighter is absurd. However, he's not as absurd as the king, the conceited man, the businessman, and the drunkard, for at least his work has some meaning. When he lights his street lamp, it is as if he brought one more star to life, or one more flower. When he extinguishes his lamp, it puts the flower or the star to sleep. It is a beautiful occupation, and since it is beautiful, it is truly useful.
When he arrived on the planet, he saluted the lamplighter respectfully.
Good morning, sir. Why have you just put out your lamp?
Okay, now what voice do we do? Is it already time for the anime protag? Wait, do I have a visual reference for what the lamplighter looks like? Oh, beautiful. He looks like a shrimp. It looks like this. I don't know if he should sound like an anime protag. It looks like a shadow of sorts. Maybe it's time, don't it? Maybe it's time to already activate the anime protag. Really? Oh no, I just flashbang you up the fucking larvae. Oh, I was gonna like search up like, oh, maybe like what voice can I do, but just flashbang you a larvae. Okay, I could do like an anime-esque voice, I guess. Whoa, larvae. Where did I stop? Okay. He saluted him, blah blah. Ah, yes. Those are the orders, replied the lamplighter.
Good morning.
Is that good enough?
What are the orders?
The orders that I put out my lamp. Good evening. and he lit his lamp again.
But why have you just lit it again?
Perfect. Okay, great. Those are the orders, replied the lamplighter.
I don't understand, said the little prince.
There's nothing to understand, said the lamplighter. Orders are orders. Good morning. And he put out his lamp. Then he mopped his brow with a handkerchief decorated with squares. My calling is a terrible one. In the old days, it was reasonable. I put out the lamp in the morning and lit it again in the evening. For the rest of the day, I could relax, and for the rest of the night, I could sleep.
And the orders have been changed since that time?
The orders have not been changed, said the lamplighter. And that is the tragedy. From year to year, the speed of the planet's rotation has increased considerably, and the orders have not been changed.
And so?
Asked the little prince. Well, now that the speed has reached 1 rotation per minute, I do not have a second's rest. I have to light up and put out my lamp once a minute.
That is very funny. Where you live, a day only lasts 1 minute?
That's not funny at all, said the lamplighter. We have already been talking together for a whole month. Well, this space-time continuum on this planet works really weirdly.
A month?
Yes, 30 minutes, 30 days. Good evening. And he lit his lamp again. As the little prince watched him, he felt he had come to love this lamplighter, so faithful to his orders. He remembered the sunsets which he himself used to seek by simply moving his chair. He wanted to help his friend. Maybe this character represents like people who just work without like questioning anything or something. I'm just guessing.
You know, I believe there is a way which would allow you to take a rest whenever you wanted to.
I always want to, said the lamplighter. For one can be both faithful and lazy. The little prince continued.
Your planet is so small that you can walk all around it in 3 strides. You just have to walk slowly enough to stay always in the sun. When you want to take a rest, you will walk, and the day will last for as long as you like.
That wouldn't help me very much, said the lamplighter. The only thing I like in life is to sleep.
That is unfortunate, said the little prince.
That is indeed unfortunate, said the lamplighter. Good morning. And he put out his lamp.
But man, said the little prince to himself as he continued his journey, that man would be despised by the drunkard, by the businessman, but he is the only one who does not seem ridiculous to me. Perhaps it is because he is not only concerned with himself.
With a sigh of regret, he said to himself once again,
that man is the only one I could have made my friend. But his planet is really too small. There is not enough room for 2.
What the little prince would not admit to himself was that he was sorry to leave this planet, blessed as it was with 1,440 sunsets every day. Okay, interesting. Chapter 15. Who is this? I'm greeted by this illustration right now. I don't know who that is, but let's see. The 6th planet was a planet 10 times larger. It was inhabited by an old gentleman who wrote voluminous books. He's supposed to be an old gentleman, so maybe Oh, look! Here comes an explorer! He cried out when he saw the little prince. The little prince sat down on the table, catching his breath. It seemed that he had been traveling for so long. Where do you come from? Asked the old gentleman.
What is this thick book?
Asked the little prince, disregarding the question.
What are you doing here?
This is the thick book that he's holding. You're reading a dictionary of sorts.
I am a geographer.
said the old gentleman.
What is a geographer?
A geographer is a scholar who knows the location of all the seas, the rivers, the cities, the mountains, and the deserts.
Now that is extremely interesting, said the little prince. That is at long last a real profession.
And he cast a quick look around him at the geographer's planet. Never before had he seen such a magnificent planet.
Your planet is very beautiful. Are there any oceans?
I have no way of knowing, said the geographer.
Oh,
The little prince was disappointed.
and any mountains?
I really couldn't tell you that either, said the geographer.
And cities and rivers and deserts?
I have no way of knowing that either, said the geographer.
But you're a geographer.
Exactly, said the geographer. But I am not an explorer. I have no explorers on my planet. It is not the geographer's task to count the cities, the rivers, the mountains, the oceans, and the deserts. The geographer is far too important to waste his time browsing around. He never leaves his office, but he receives explorers. He questions them and notes down what they recall of their travels. And if the recollections of one of them seem interesting to him, the geographer orders an inquiry into the explorer's moral character.
But why?
Because an explorer who told lies would bring into disrepute the geographer's books, as would an explorer who drank too much.
But why?
Asked the little prince. Because drunkards see double. As a result, the geographer would note 2 mountains where in fact there was only one.
I know someone, said the little prince, who would make a bad explorer.
Their name is Dora.
That is possible, even when the moral character of the explorer is shown to be satisfactory, an investigation is ordered into his discovery.
One goes to check it?
No, that would be too complicated, but the explorer is requested to furnish proof. If, for example, the discovery is that of a big mountain,
I'm slowly morphing into David Attenborough.
he is required to bring back some large stones from it.
Suddenly, the geographer became very excited.
But you've come a long way. You're an explorer. You must describe your planet to me.
And the geographer, having opened his register, sharpened his pencil. One started off by noting the explorer's story in pencil. And when the explorer had provided the required proof, the information was filled in ink.
Well,
asked the geographer expectantly.
Oh, where I live, said the little prince, it is not very interesting because it is so small. I have 3 volcanoes. 2 are active and the 3rd is extinct. But one never knows.
One never knows, said the geographer, and I am now Dumbledore.
I also have a flower.
We don't record flowers, said the geographer.
Why not? It is the prettiest thing on my planet.
Because flowers are ephemeral.
What does ephemeral mean?
Geographies, said the geographer, are the most precious of all books. They are never out of fashion. A mountain rarely changes its place. It is very rare for an ocean to empty itself of its waters. We write of eternal things.
But extinct volcanoes can wake up,
the little prince interrupted.
What does ephemeral mean?
Whether volcanoes are extinct or active amounts to the same thing for us, said the geographer. What matters to us is the mountain. It does not change.
But what does ephemeral mean?
The little prince repeated once again, since he had never in his life given up a question once he had raised it. It means in danger of early disappearance.
My flower is in danger of early disappearance?
Of course it is.
My flower is ephemeral,
The little prince said to himself.
and she has only 4 thorns with which to defend herself against the world, and I have left her all alone on my planet.
That was his first moment of regret, but he took courage once again.
What place would you advise me to visit now? He asked.
The planet Earth, replied the geographer. It has a good reputation. And the little prince went away, thinking of his flower. He's like, oh my god, I should never have left my flower alone. I have discovered the meaning of ephemeral. Chapter 16. We're about this much into the book. I'm check real quick. 11:43. Wow, when we reach like midnight, we'll do another break, okay? That's how little the prince looks like. Oh my god, I never show you what the prince looks like. Yes, this is what the prince looks like. He's on the cover as well, in color. But of course, like there are quite a bit of interpretations, but this book specifically has the illustrations of the author himself. So this is like canonical Little Prince. Yes. So like the what do you call that? Like the defining feature of the Little Prince that you always see in illustrations is, of course, the golden hair. He also has like a little pink bow. He's dressed in green. Sorry, that I think like not the pink bow, but I've seen like this one. It has like a scarf. I've seen like a scarf as well. So I mean, you know, popular books, they have a lot of different covers, book covers, and variations. So I mean, I'm pretty sure you can like spot the Little Prince book from far away. Also, this drawing right here is so questionable. Like, are we seeing this? If I just flip this around, I might just get banned. Okay, anyways, next chapter. Chapter 16. One moment. Yes, okay. Chapter 16. So, that's the little... Anyways, chapter 16. So, the 7th planet was the Earth. Wait, is the Earth like the 7th planet in the solar system again? Is he like making his rounds on the... I have a song to like remember the planets of Earth. With the planets of Earth, the planets of the Milky Way. Jupiter. Wait, that's not. Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and like Pluto, which no one gives a crap about anymore. Well, Earth is definitely not the 7th planet, so. Wait, Mercury, Venus, Earth. Yes, Earth is the 3rd. That's in sequence, by the way, of the distance from the sun. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Uranus. The Earth is not just an ordinary planet. There are 111 kings, not to mention the Negro kings, of course. 7,000 geographers, 900,000 businessmen, 7.5 million drunkards, 311 million conceited individuals. In other words, approximately 2,000 million grown-ups. 8.7 excluding Pluto. Yeah. Wait, I thought Pluto was like the 9th planet or like the 8th planet. I can't remember. Pluto is the 9th planet. So they're 8 now. Yes. To give you an idea of the size of the Earth, I shall explain that before the invention of electricity, throughout the 6 continents, a veritable army of 462, 511 lamplighters had to be maintained for the street lamps. Seen from a little distance, the effort was magnificent. Sorry, the effect was magnificent. The movements of this army were regulated like those of a ballet. First came the turn of the lamplighters of New Zealand and Australia. Then, having lit their lamps, they would go off to sleep. Next, the lamplighters of China and Siberia would join the dance, after which they too would disappear into the wings. Then came the turn of the lamplighters of Russia and India. Then those of Africa and Europe. Then those of South America. Then those of North America. And they never made a mistake in the order of their entry onto the stage. It was fabulous. Only the man in charge of the single lamp at the North Pole and his colleague responsible for the single lamp at the South Pole could enjoy a carefree life of laziness. They only worked twice a year. That was just chapter 16 right there. Very cool. It was just telling us about the Earth and like they're all the different kinds of characters that the Little Prince had met before. Chapter 17. When one wants to be funny, one may have to lie a little bit from time to time. I haven't been quite honest in talking to you about the lamplighters. I am running the risk of giving a false idea about our planet to those who do not know it. Men occupy very little space on the Earth. If the 2 billion inhabitants occupying the planet were to stand upright and crowded together as at a meeting, they could easily live on a public square 20 miles long and 20 miles wide. All humanity could be piled up on a tiny islet in the Pacific. Grown-ups, of course, will never believe you. They think that they take up a lot of space. They consider themselves as important as baobabs. You should invite them to make their own calculations. They adore figures and would be pleased. But do not waste your time on such a chore. It is unnecessary. I know you trust me. So, when the little prince arrived on the Earth, he was very surprised not to see any people. He was beginning to fear he had come to the wrong planet when a coil, pale gold as the moon, moved in the sand.
Good evening,
said the little prince politely.
Good evening,
said the snake. Oh god, there's a snake.
What planet have I fallen on?
Asked the little prince. Oh my god, is it the boa constrictor? Oh, it's not, I think.
On the planet Earth, in Africa,
replied the snake.
Oh, then there are no people on Earth? This is the desert. There are no people in the desert. The Earth is big,
said the snake. The little prince sat down on a stone and looked up at the sky.
I wonder, he said, if the stars are lit up so that each one of us can find his own star again. Look at my planet. It is right above us. But how far away it is. It is beautiful, said the snake. Why have you come here? I am having some difficulties with a flower, the little prince replied. Oh,
said the snake. And they remained silent.
Where are the men?
Asked the little prince, at last resuming the conversation.
One feels rather lonely in the desert. It is just as lonely among men, said the snake.
The little prince gazed at him for a long time.
You're a strange animal, he said at last. You are as thin as a finger.
This is him looking at the snake, by the way. The illustration of it. He's like, the fuck? Where did I leave off?
But I am more powerful than a king's finger,
said the snake. The little prince smiled.
You do not look very powerful. You don't even have paws. You cannot even travel. I can carry you farther than a ship,
said the snake. He twined himself around the little prince's ankle like a golden bracelet.
Whomever I touch, I send back to the earth from which they came, he added. But you are pure and innocent and come from a star.
The little prince said nothing.
I feel sorry for you, so weak on this earth of granite. I may be able to help you one day. If you become too homesick for your planet, I can... Oh, I understand you perfectly, said the little prince. But why do you talk in riddles all the time? I solved them all, said the snake.
And they both fell silent.
What? I don't get it. Wait, so the snake is on Earth or nah? He's on planet Earth in Africa. And then he said that there are no people on Earth. And then he said that he can carry people like a ship, and whoever he touches is sent back to the Earth from which they came. Oh, so he sends them back to where they came from. Except that he's from a star. Okay, okay. What is the snake supposed to mean? Oh my god, this is one of the things where it's like, after I read the book, I have to scour the internet for like essays on this book.
Chapter 18. Oh wait, let's do a quick time check. Okay, we'll do like one more chapter and then we'll take a break. I hope you guys are not as lugubrious. I hope this is kind of entertaining in some sense. Chapter 18. The little prince crossed the desert and met with only one flower. The flower with very few petals, a flower of no importance. Which I think is, I assume is this thing. Maybe a cactus. The little prince's cactus.
Good morning,
said the little prince. Oh man, what flower, what voice should we give to a flower? Let's do a Valley Girl. We'll do Valley Girl, okay? Definitely we are not lugubrious, that is Balder. Cockchafer.
Yes. Yes. Good morning,
said the flower.
Where are the men?
The little prince inquired politely. The flower had once seen a caravan passing.
Men? I believe they're about 6 or 7. Oh. No. No. I can't believe I got 6, 7 by little prince. No. Oh. Oh.
This psychic damage, bro. I can't believe. Oh.
Look, it says 6 or 7. I'm not even lying. Hi, Akabori, welcome. No, not the 6. I was avoiding 6, 7 jokes and I got 6, 7 by the book itself. I can't believe this has happened. How could this oh shit. You didn't see nothing. You only saw 6, 7. Perfect timing. Hi! Oh my god, you just came in at the 6, 7 moment. Welcome. Welcome. I'm gonna take a moment to take that in. Anyways, I'm supposed to be a Valley Girl, okay.
I got a glimpse of them several years ago. but one never knows where to find them. The wind blows them around. They have no roots, which makes their life rather trying. Goodbye, said the little prince. Goodbye, said the flower.
What? That's it? Guys, chapter 18 of The Little Prince exists just to 6-7 you. Okay? You guys want to recommend this book to anyone? Ask them to turn to chapter 18 and read this paragraph. Okay? That's all. What is The Little Prince about? It is about 6-7. Period. Such an emotional chapter. Exactly. Your bro would love it. Yeah. Okay, we have chapter 19, but I did say that we'll take a quick break because it is about time for one. Okay, let's take a quick break. If you need to go to a toilet, go piss, girl. If you need to refill your water, please go ahead. I'm gonna drink some water personally. I'm gonna drink some water. Let me just pull up my timer real quick. Where's my timer? My timer. Oh, I got jump scared by the cockchafer again. Okay, here it is. I want to pull this up earlier. Okay, I'm gonna start the 5-minute chill rest timer. If you have been working, I hope you have been working and being productive. It is time for your break. Please take a break. Be entitled to take the break. Please do not feel guilty about taking breaks. Nostalgic back from a meeting. How's your meeting? What was the meeting about? Was it about 6-7? We just got 6-7 by a chapter. I can't believe it. I'm so annoyed. I hope the meeting was very productive. And let me sip my water real quick. I'm gonna stand up real quick. Get the blood circulation. Ugh. My ass. It's our usual who's doing what with our clients and influencers. Ooh, stand-up meeting. You know how like tech companies, they have like the stand-up meetings. They're like, oh, we call it a stand-up meeting because the length of the meeting is just supposed to be as long as you can stand up. And I am like not kidding about this. Like they literally have stand-up meetings in like the big companies and stuff. They're like, oh, do you want to open a new, what do you call that? Like open a new ticket on my Jira board? Do you wanna, my bandwidth is really full at this moment. We call it war board. War board. Because that's work, ain't it? Just putting out fires. I feel that. Please, have a quick, nice, well-deserved break and drink some water, or have a snack if you want to. I would have a snack if not for the fact that it's like close to midnight right now. I would say that's 90% of my job, putting out fires. Damn, you're a firefighter. Client and influencer management. It sounds really fun. You gotta talk about influencers. Like, that's pretty cool. I hope it's fun. I hope it's not what's that word that we learned? Balderdash. Oh my god, I'm gonna stretch real quick. Oh. Oh, by the way, if you guys have like other books you would like me to read in the future, I would be down for it. Like, it's such a vibe right now. Also, if you guys, I would also be like quite interested in maybe also reading like short stories which are of like Asian mythology and things like maybe not like a whole length of like mythology book, but like short stories. I think those are always really cute because there are some pretty like nice folk tales. My portion is just keep the meeting flowing. I mostly just do the IT, shipping, exporting, importing, customer service, website dev. Wow. Exporting, importing, customer service, website dev. Wow. Many hats. I get that. I have to wear so many hats as well at work. I have to like design stuff and like, oh my god, you know, like if you're a graphic designer, I do graphic design by the way. If you're a graphic designer, you expect to do like so many kinds of design as well. And now I have to like, my boss was like calling me today. She was like, after Chinese New Year, can you do a website? I was like, oh, I guess I'm a website designer now. Yeah, and then I have to like respond to like client emails sometimes too, and like plan programs. And it's like, what? I'm an event planner, and I'm a designer. Well, what else? Soon I have to do cashier stuff also, because you're opening a shop. And like they're like, oh, you don't have to do it all the time, but like if you're there and no one else is, you might have to do some cashiering. I was like, what the hell? Watch me leave. Okay, that's the end of our break. But oh shit. But you know, like my job, one thing I love about my job is the flexibility. Although it does get busy sometimes, but like I love the flexibility of the job. So that is like something I would not trade for money. Like, you know, you can give me a pay cut, I won't go. I don't care. Like, I love how flexible it is, and I don't have to like go to the office every day. So it's cool. I was gonna go sleep, but I decided to try out 6-7 SMR book reading as sleep BGM. Thanks, girl, you're the best. Yeah, you can totally just like, I mean, it would be challenging to fall asleep to this, but like if you can, then like go ahead and do it, you know? You can challenge yourself to fall asleep to this. The joys of small business. Yeah, exactly. Like I sometimes enjoy the challenges of a small business because you actually feel like you're like growing. I mean, whatever pain you're feeling is like growing pains, you know? Unlike if you're in a big organization and then it's just stupid problems like, oh, the upper management doesn't like it and you change everything. Like that would be 100% more annoying, you know? Like things that you can't even affect on your own. That to me would even be more annoying. I got this JP Yokai book that is in English, which might be nice to read. Ooh, JP Yokai book? How long is it? Is it in PDF? By the way, guys, I was on TikTok and I found like, oh my god, guys, this website, I found it. It was recommended on TikTok. You would never be bored anymore, okay? Let me just show you this website. Let me just open it. It is may or may not be legal or illegal, but you can check this place out. 1 second. It is called, oops. It is called Ocean. Oops, I moved the wrong browser. Hello? Where's my browser? Yes. It is called the Ocean of PDF.com. They have a lot of things. I was just looking at one which is what was it called? Dictionary of Colors or something like that. Color combinations. It was like a Japanese book. And you can pretty much download it for free. And your download should start. Yep. I did this on my phone already, so it does work.
and I can pretty much like read the entire thing. Like, you will never be bored again. Look at this. I can read everything. The entire PDF is here. Oh my god. You can do so much. You'll never be bored. It's no, it's an A4 size physical book I got from Kyoto. Not sure if PDF exists. Ah, okay. Yokai, 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 yokai. What chichi? You know the Yokai Watch song. Chichi, what chichi? Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, my book is upside down. Alright, where we left off at chapter 18, we got 6/7. It was literally one page. And the flower said, men, I believe there are about 6 or 7 of them. Anyways, let's move on to chapter 19. Chapter 18 was absolutely devastating. Okay. Now, the little prince climbed a high mountain. The only mountains he knew of were the 3 volcanoes, and they only reached up to his knees. And he used the extinct volcano as a footstool.
From the top of the mountain as high as this one, he said to himself, I should be able to see the whole planet at one glance, and all the people.
But the only things he could see were peaks of rock as sharp as needles.
Good morning,
he said politely. Good morning, morning. Wait. Guys. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Is this working? Is the reverb working? Good morning, good morning, good morning, answered the echo. Did the reverb work? I hope it did. Because that'd be awkward if it didn't.
Who are you?
Asked the little prince. It did? Okay, great. Because it is actually like echoing in the book. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Answered the echo.
What a strange planet, he thought to himself. It is quite dry, covered with peaks, salty and inhospitable, and the people have no imagination. They just repeat whatever one says to them. On my planet, I had a flower. She was always the first to speak.
This is him on Mount Everest or something. Chapter 20. Oh, I didn't get to use my reverb that much. That's fine. Chapter 20. However, the little prince, having walked for a long time through the desert, the rocks, and the snow, at last came upon a road. And all roads lead to men. Dude, I need to put that in the notes right here. All roads lead to men. Good morning, he said, coming upon a garden full of roses. I'm just thinking what voice to give to this one.
Good morning,
said the roses. The little prince gazed at them. They all resembled his flower.
Who are you?
He asked in amazement.
We are roses,
said the roses.
Oh,
exclaimed the little prince, and he was suddenly overcome with sadness. His flower had told him that she was the only one of her kind in the universe. And here were 5,000 of them, all alike in one single garden.
She would be rather resentful, he thought to himself. If she could see this, she would cough and pretend she was dying so as to avoid being thought ridiculous, and I would have to pretend to nurse her, for otherwise she would really let herself die in order to humiliate me.
Well, his flower sounds so toxic right now. Dramatic and toxic.
And he said to himself once again,
I thought I was rich, with a flower unique in the world, whereas in fact all I had was a common rose. That and my 3 volcanoes which came up to my knees, of which one is perhaps extinct forever. That doesn't make me a very great prince.
and lying in the grass, he cried.
Not him having like a crash out after after seeing the roses. He just had like an existential crisis. He was like, "What do you mean? What do you mean? My flower's not special. Like, I'm such a loser prince. What do you mean I'm not special?" Definitely an Ojo-sama. Ojo-sama. Yare yare. It's time to go to bed. Momari no Akashi. Chapter 21. It was then that the fox appeared.
What does the fox say? Good morning,
Said the fox.
good morning.
The little prince replied politely, though when he turned around, he saw nothing.
I am here,
Said the voice.
under the apple tree. Who are you?
Said the little prince.
You are very pretty. I am a fox.
Said the fox.
Come and play with me,
Suggested the little prince.
I am so terribly sad. I cannot play with you,
Said the fox.
I am not tame.
Oh, I'm so sorry, said the little prince. But after some thought, he asked,
What does tame mean? You do not live here,
said the fox.
What are you looking for? I am looking for men.
Why is the little prince looking for men, Ayo?
I'm looking for men,
Said the little prince.
What does tame mean?
Men, said the fox,
have rifles and they hunt. It is a real nuisance. They also raise chickens. Those are the only activities they are interested in. Are you looking for chickens?
No, said the little prince.
I am looking for friends. What does tame mean? It is something which is too often forgotten,
Said the fox.
It means to establish ties. To establish ties?
This is the picture. This is the fox that kind of looks like a mix of a bunny and a squirrel. Yes.
That's right, said the fox. To me, you're still just a little boy who likes 100,000 other
Wait, sorry, I read that wrong.
who likes
100,000 little boys is crazy. It's a cute fox. It's a questionable fox. Look at that. Yeah, it's Umbreon. Exactly.
He found an Umbreon. Now he gotta use his Pokeball.
To me, you are still just a little boy like 100,000 other little boys, and I have no need for you, and you have no need of me either. To you, I am just a fox like 100,000 other foxes. But if you tame me, we shall need each other. We shall need one another. To me, you will be unique, and I will be unique to you.
Oh my god, he's literally catching and taming a Pokemon.
I'm beginning to understand, said the little prince. There's a flower. I think she has tamed me. Possibly, said the fox. One sees all sorts of things on Earth. Oh, but this is not on Earth, said the little prince. The fox seemed puzzled. On another planet? Yes. Are there any hunters on that planet? No. That's interesting. And any chickens? No. Nowhere is perfect, sighed the fox.
Presently, he returned to his theme.
My life is monotonous. I hunt chickens and men hunt me. All chickens are alike and all men are alike, so I get a little bored. But if you tame me, my life will be full of sunshine. I shall recognize the sound of a step, different from all others. The other steps send my hurrying underground. Yours will call me out of my burrow like a sound of music. And look yonder. Do you see the cornfields? I do not eat bread. Wheat is of no use to me. Those cornfields don't remind me of anything, and I find that rather sad. But you have hair the color of gold, so it will be marvelous when you have tamed me. Wheat, which is also golden, will remind me of you, and I shall love the sound of the wind in the wheat.
Oh my god, what is he on? I don't know. The fox became silent and gazed for a long time at the little prince.
I beg of you, tame me, he said.
Guys, I think the little prince just found like an omega fox or something. Like, what is that? What is this? I don't know. What is this?
Willingly, the little prince replied. But I haven't got much time. I have friends to discover and a lot of things to understand. One can only understand the things one tames, said the fox. Men have no more time to understand anything. They buy ready-made things in the shops, but since there are no shops where you can buy friends, men no longer have any friends. If you want a friend, tame me.
Oh. Okay.
What should I do? Asked the little prince. You must be very patient, replied the fox. First, you will sit down at a little distance from me, like that, in the grass. I shall watch you out of the corner of my eye, and you will say nothing. Words are a source of misunderstandings, but every day you can sit a little closer to me. But father, I got the whole world to see.
Hi, Hua. Welcome. Welcome to the little prince, who is on an adventure. He has left his little planet and he is going to other planets to meet very weird people, very weird adults. Right now he is, where is he right now? He is on another planet. In the desert. Is he still on Earth? I think he's still on Earth, I think, in Africa or something. He had climbed mountains, he met a snake, then he climbed some mountains, and then he saw a bunch of roses and had a meltdown over life, and then he saw Umbreon, the Pokemon, and now he's the Umbreon. It turns out to be an Omega Fox who wants to be tamed by Alpha Zaddy Little Prince. Anyways, welcome Hua, and if you are just chilling and wanna have something in the background, please feel free to put this on and have a chill time with me. We're about this much into the book currently. Oh, already over half. So yeah, well, I don't know what I'm reading sometimes, but this is quite interesting. Like, what am I reading? I don't know. Let's see, where did I leave off? Oh yeah, so the fox was rambling about how he wanted to be tamed, and then the little prince is like, yeah, sure, but like how? And then the fox is like, yeah, every day you can you can sit down a little bit far, like a distance from me, and then every day you can inch a little bit closer to me. Anyways, the next day, the little prince returned.
You should have come back at the same time, said the fox. If, for example, you come at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I shall start feeling happy at 3 o'clock.
He's like teaching him to like Pavlov him or something.
As the time passes, I shall feel happier and happier. At 4 o'clock, I shall become agitated and start worrying. I shall discover the price of happiness.
I'm just looking at this and feeling a little bit terrified. Like, I'm not sure what is this supposed to be. That's not the fox, nor is that the little prince, so maybe the next page will tell me.
But if you come visit at just any time, I shall never know when I should prepare my heart to greet you. One must observe certain rites. What is a rite?
Asked the little prince.
It is something which is all too often forgotten, said the fox. It is what makes one day different from other days, 1 hour different from other hours. For example, there is a rite among my hunters. On Thursday, they go dancing with the village girls. So Thursday is a marvelous day for me. I can take a walk as far as the vineyards. But if the hunters were to go dancing just any day, every day would be like any other day for me, and I would never have a holiday.
Oh my god, this is making me question life and the purpose of holidays and rituals. Thus, it was that the little prince tamed the fox, and when the time came for his departure, the fox said,
Oh, I shall cry.
Bro discovered weekends.
Weekends is just a product of capitalism.
You know, like they made weekends Saturdays and Sundays, but like, who are you to not make any other weekday a weekend as well? We all have free will. We are all like the fox. We all want to be tamed by our alpha daddy capitalists. That was a weird thing to come to conclusion to, but okay.
It is your own fault, said the little prince. I wish you no harm, but you wanted me to tame you. Yes, indeed, said the fox. But you're going to cry, said the little prince. That is so, said the fox. Then it has not helped you in any way. It has helped me, said the fox, because of the color of the wheat fields. Then he added, Go and have another look at the roses, and you will understand that yours is indeed unique in all the world. Then you will come back to say goodbye to me, and I shall tell you a secret as a gift. The little prince went off to look at the roses again. None of you is at all like my rose, and yet you are nothing, he said to them. Nothing has tamed you, and you have tamed no one. You are like my fox when I first encountered him. He was just a fox, like 100,000 other foxes. But I made him my friend, and now he is unique in the world.
Okay. And the roses were greatly embarrassed.
You're beautiful, but you're empty.
He's like, you're not like my flower because you guys have like no personality. You're not alpha like my flower. You're all just beta roses.
One cannot die for you. To be sure, an ordinary passerby would believe that my very own rose looked just like you. But she's far more important than all of you because she is the one I have watered.
1 second. What is it? What's the... Oh my...
The music is so... Oh, I see. Oh. 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 What the hell? Uh-huh. Oh. Wait, are you guys hearing like noise as well? Wait, I hear noise in my... Mhm. Do you guys hear like noise or not? Hold on, let me check the audio real quick. Not coming from the music. That's so weird. Uh, 1 second. Why am I hearing like so much noise? Huh? Oh. Test. Oh. Why is my mic? Hello? Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Oh, ayo, that was so weird. My cable was kind of like loose in the port. Okay. Ooh, shh. Sorry about that. I'm not sure why that happened all of a sudden. Technical difficulties, as they call it. Okay, I hope I sound normal now. Let me just do a quick check. I was like, what is happening right now? Okay. I hope you guys can still hear the music. Okay. I hope you guys can hear. Sounds good. Okay. Cool. Yeah. For I don't know, that was like static suddenly. That was weird. Okay, anyways, now that that's fixed, let's get to it. Also, did you all hear that there has been a bit of pottery that has been recently knighted? They call them Oh, psychic damage. Ceramic. Oh my gosh, do you know of a game called Adventure Quest? I think it was Adventure Quest, not Dragon Fable or like Adventure Quest. It was like one of the early maybe Flash games. I don't know. But can't say I do. There is like it was like a early day. Oh, was it RPG? It's not an RPG. Adventure Quest Worlds mentioned. I don't know about Worlds, but like Adventure Quest was one of the older games that existed in the internet. I don't think it was a Worlds version. It looked like maybe not Adventure. Was it Adventure Quest? Basically, I'm bringing this up because in this game, there's like a table of like a round table of knights or something, and they all have names that are like Sir something pun. Knights of the Round Table. Was it Dragon Fable? I think Dragon Fable maybe. Yeah. No, not this one. Dragon Fable game. Maybe not this one. Oh yeah, it was Adventure Quest Worlds. Sorry for doubting you. Sorry. King Knights of the Pectagonal Table. Surgeon. Sirloin. Look. Surpass. Serpent. Surprise. Surrender. Sir Unknown. This one's... I don't know what this one. I don't know this one. Circus. Circus. Serrated. Surveillance. Survival. Certain death. Deceased. Search and destroy. Sriracha. Wonderful. Your joke just totally reminded me of this. This game, so old, I'm telling you. It's one of it's turn-based combat. It's one of the first few games I ever saw my cousin play on a laptop. Back in the days where laptop was not as advanced as today. Okay, wait, my book is upside down again. Where was I? Ah, yes, the blueprints was you roses are too beta. Okay. FF14 Flash game version. Yeah, it's a Flash game. There was Artrix. Was his name Artrix? Can't remember. Oh yes, she was my flower is the only one that I've watered. It's special to me. And it is she that I have placed under a glass dome, and it is she that I have sheltered behind a screen, and it is for her that I have killed the caterpillars, except for the 2 or 3 saved to become butterflies. And it is she I have listened to complaining or boasting or sometimes remaining silent, because she is my rose. And he went back to the fox. Goodbye, he said. Goodbye, said the fox. Now, here's my secret. It is very simple. It is only with one's heart that one can see clearly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. I guess you can say it is very starry night with that many memorable names. It was starry night. Starry, starry night. Paint your palette blue and green. Watch out on a summer's day with eyes. Okay, I can't remember the lyrics of the song. What is essential is invisible to the eye, the little prince repeated, so as to be sure to remember. It is time you lavished on your rose, which makes your rose so important. It is time that I lavished on my rose, said the little prince, so as to be sure to remember. Men have forgotten this basic truth, said the fox, but you must not forget it. For what you have tamed, you become responsible forever. You are responsible for your rose. Interesting. Oh my god. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of terrifying. This illustration, kind of terrifying. Is this supposed to be the little prince in the field of flowers? But he looks like that. Oh my god, he's in the same pose as me. With my legs in the air flailing, enjoying myself while reading. Oh my god, same pose? Damn. Yeah, they're just resting. Okay. Oh. I am responsible for my rose, the little prince repeated, so as to be sure to remember. Chapter 22. Good morning, said the little prince. Good morning, said the railway signalman. Oh my god, the railway signalman reminds me of freaking Thomas the Tank Engine. And then he's like, you know, was his name Percy or something? Like the railway person is like a man. Just reminds me of that.
What do you do here? Asked the little prince.
Oh, I saw a I don't know what voice to give to him. I saw out. Oh my god, what if it's Australian? I sought out travelers. Okay, this is really bad. I'm gonna get cancelled immediately. In bundles of 1,000. Sit. The signal man. Oh my god, there's a typo here. Set signal man. I shot the trains carrying them down to the right, now to the left. Okay, if you don't know what this accent is, it's just something I made up, okay? I'm not appropriating anything. And a brilliantly lit up express train, roaring like thunder, shook the signal box as it rushed by.
They are in a great hurry, said the little prince. What are they looking for?
The locomotive driver doesn't even know himself. Oh my god, I can give him a Texan accent. The locomotive driver doesn't even know himself, said the signal man. And a second brilliantly lit express train thundered by in the opposite direction.
Are they already coming back?
Asked the little prince. Those are not the same ones. Suddenly he became British. And the signal man said the signal man, it is an exchange.
They were not satisfied where they were?
No one is ever satisfied where he is, said the signal man. And they heard the roaring thunder of a third brilliantly lit express train.
Are they pursuing the first travelers?
Asked the little prince. They are pursuing nothing at all, said the signal man. They sleep in there, or they yawn. Only the children press their noses against the window panes.
Only children know what they're looking for, said the little prince. They dote on a rag doll, and it becomes very important to them. And if it is taken away from them, they cry.
They are lucky, said the signal man. Chapter 23.
Good morning,
said the little prince. It's a merchant this time. Merchant, huh? Let's give like a Hong Kong. Not me appropriating other accents. Okay. Anyways, let's just give him a normal sounding one then. Guten Morgen, said the merchant. He was a merchant selling sophisticated pills intended to quench one's thirst. If a single pill was swallowed once a week, the need to drink disappeared. Wow. Speaking of drinking, let me just drink real quick. Quick hydration.
Why are you selling those?
Asked the little prince. Because it saves a lot of time, said the merchant. Experts have worked it all out. You save 53 minutes a week.
And what does one do with those 53 minutes?
Whatever one wishes.
If I had 53 minutes to spend, said the little prince, I would walk very slowly towards a spring of fresh water.
Is this supposed to be the spring of fresh water? Because this is terrifying. Sadako coming up from the well kind of vibes. Also, like, this reminds me of like, yeah, like people who you know, eat those pills that make you not hungry and then they don't have to eat anymore. And then it's like, do you eat to live or do you live to eat? Do you prioritize like the taste of food, or is that just like, you know, just going to get it over and done with? Kind of reminds me of that. Oh, what? There was just one chapter. Okay. Well, I guess I got the concept, so. On chapter 24. We're about this much into the book now. Oh my god, we're almost near the end. Let's go.
It was now 8 days since I had broken down in the desert, and I listened to the story of the merchant while drinking the last drop of my water supply. Hold on. Oh, this is from the narrator's point of view again. Ah, I said to the little prince. These memories of yours are quite delightful, but I haven't quite yet succeeded in repairing my plane. I have no water left to drink, and I too would be happy if I could walk slowly towards a spring of fresh water.
My friend the fox said to me,
My dear little chap, this has nothing to do with a fox.
Why?
Because we're gonna die of thirst. He didn't follow my reasoning and replied,
It is good to have had a friend, even if one is going to die. I am very happy to have had a fox as a friend.
He does not realize the danger, I said to myself. He is never hungry or thirsty. All he needs is a little sunshine. But he looked at me and responded to my thoughts.
I too am thirsty. Let's go look for a well.
I made a gesture of weariness. It is absurd to look for a well at random in the immensity of the desert. Nonetheless, we started walking. We walked for hours in silence. Darkness fell, and the stars began to come out. Due to my thirst, I was slightly feverish and saw them as in a dream. The little prince's last words came dancing back into my mind. So, are you thirsty too? I asked him. But he did not reply to my question and said simply,
Water may also be good for the heart.
I didn't understand his answer but remained silent. I knew only too well that there was no point in questioning him. He was tired and sat down. I sat beside him. After a short silence, he spoke again.
The stars are beautiful because of a flower one cannot see.
I replied, Of course. And I looked at the sand dunes under the moonlight in silence.
The desert is beautiful,
he added. And it was true. I have always loved the desert. One sits down on a sand dune, sees nothing, hears nothing, yet one can feel a silent radiation.
What makes the desert so beautiful, said the little prince, is that it hides a well somewhere.
A mirage? I was surprised by a sudden awareness, the sand's mysterious radiation. When I was a little boy, I lived in a very old house, and a legend told us that a treasure was buried there. To be sure, nobody had ever discovered it, nor even searched for it, perhaps. But it cast an enchantment over that house.
So I just looked up and then I saw like the music has become like therapeutic frequencies. Like, are we good with that? Do we want like some nice like forest music? I can go back to forest music, which sounds exactly the same. Okay. Oh, I know a good one. Let's go to Muji BGM. Oh yeah. Oh my god, this was way better from the start. Are we kidding? Okay. Wait, I forgot where I left off. Wait. Oh yes, it hides a well somewhere. Okay. To be sure, nobody had ever discovered it, nor even searched for it. Perhaps, but because in enchantment, I read this. My home was hiding a secret in the depths of her. Okay. Yes, I said to the little prince. Be it a house, the stars, or the desert, the source of their beauty cannot be seen.
I'm glad you agree with me, he said.
As the little prince fell asleep, I took him in my arms and started walking again. I was deeply moved. It seemed to me I was carrying a very fragile treasure. It seemed to me that there was nothing more fragile on all the earth. In the moonlight, I gazed at the pale forehead, the closed eyes, the lock of hair trembling in the breeze, and said to myself, what I see here is nothing but a shell. What is most important is invisible.
By the way, again, this is the picture of the prince in the well. I think we're getting there, but like this is kind of terrifying. Like after I read strange pictures, like any picture that looks like and John is scary to me.
As his lips opened slightly with the suspicion of a half smile, I said to myself once again, what moves me so deeply about this little prince sleeping here is his loyalty to a flower. The image of a rose shining through his whole being like the flame of a lamp, even when he is asleep. And I felt him to be more fragile still. Lamps should be protected with great care. A gust of wind can extinguish them. I walked on, and at daybreak I discovered the well. Chapter 25.
Men, said the little prince, crowd into express trains without knowing what they're looking for, so they become agitated and rush round in circles.
After a pause, he added,
It is not worth the trouble.
the well we had reached did not look like the usual wells of the Sahara. The Sahara wells are simple holes dug in the sand. This one looked like a village well, but there was no village here, and I thought I was dreaming. How strange, I said to the little prince. Everything is ready. The pulley, the bucket, and the rope. He laughed, touched the rope, and set the pulley working, and the pulley moaned like an old weathercock when the wind has been asleep for a long time.
Can you hear? Said the little prince. We have awakened the well, and it is singing.
I did not wish him to make an effort. Leave it to me, I said to him. It is too heavy for you. Slowly, I pulled up the bucket and planted it firmly on the edge of the well. I could still hear the singing of the pulley in my ears, and in the water, which was still trembling, I could see the shimmering of the sun.
I'm thirsty for this water, said the little prince. Give me some of it to drink.
And I understood what he had been looking for. I raised the bucket to his lips. He drank with his eyes closed. It was as sweet as a festival treat. This water was something entirely different from ordinary nourishment. It was born from the walk under the stars, the singing of the pulley, and the effort of my arms. It was good for the heart, like a gift. When I was a little boy, the lights of the Christmas tree, the music of the midnight mass, the sweetness of the smiling faces, all made up the radiance of the Christmas gift I received.
The men where you live, said the little prince, grow 5,000 roses in the same garden, and they do not find that what they're looking for.
They do not find it, I replied.
And yet, what they're looking for could be found in a single rose or in a little water.
Yes, indeed, I replied. And the little prince added,
But the eyes are blind. One must look with the heart.
I had drunk the water. I was breathing easily. The sand at sunrise is the color of honey, and I was very much enjoying this honey color. Why then was I feeling such grief?
You must keep your promise, said the little prince softly as he sat down beside me again.
What promise?
You know, a muzzle for my sheep. I'm responsible for this flower.
So I took my rough sketches out of my pocket.
Wow, this music is a paid actor.
The little prince looked at them and laughed as he said,
Your baobabs are a bit like cabbages.
"Oh!" And I had been so proud of my baobabs.
Your fox, its ears, they look a bit like horns, and they're too long.
And he laughed again. "You are unfair, little prince. Remember, I could only draw boa constrictors from the outside and boa constrictors from the inside."
Oh, that's enough, he said. Children understand.
So I drew a muzzle with a pencil. My heart ached when I gave it to him. "You have plans I know nothing about." But he didn't answer. Instead, he said to me,
You know, my descent to the earth, tomorrow will be its anniversary.
Then, after a short silence, he added,
I came down very near here.
and he blushed. And once again, without fully understanding why, I had a strange feeling of sorrow. However, a question came to my mind. "So it is not by mere chance that on the morning I met you 8 days ago, you were wandering around all by yourself 1,000 miles from any human habitation? You were returning to the place where you landed?" The little prince blushed again, and I added a little hesitantly, "Perhaps because of the anniversary?" The little prince blushed again. He never answered questions, but when one blushes, it means yes, does it not? "Oh dear, I am a bit frightened," I said to him. Reassuringly, he replied,
Now you must work. You must get back to your engine. I shall wait for you here. Come back tomorrow evening.
But I was not reassured. I remembered the fox. One runs the risk of crying a bit if one allows oneself to be tamed. Oh my god, he was tamed by the alpha daddy little prince. Oh my gosh, guys, we're reaching the end soon. The music is such a paid actor. I loved it. I love that. Chapter 26. Beside the well, there was the ruin of an old stone wall. When I came back from my work on the following evening, I saw from some distance my little prince sitting on top of it, his legs dangling. This is what it looks like. Just chilling on the wall. And I heard him saying,
Don't you remember? It was not quite here.
No doubt another voice answered him, since he replied,
Yes, yes, it is the right day, but not the right spot.
Oh my god, I think he's talking to the flower. I continued walking towards the wall, but still could neither see nor hear anybody. Yet the little prince answered once again,
Yes, of course. You will see where my track begins in the sand. Just wait for me there. I shall be there tonight.
I was a mere 20 meters from the wall, and yet I could see nothing. After a short silence, the little prince spoke again.
Is your poison good? Are you sure it will not make me suffer for too long?
I stopped in my tracks, my heart aching, but I still did not understand.
Now, go away, he said. I want to get down.
Whereupon I dropped my eyes to the foot of the wall, and what I saw made me leap into the air. It was there, raising its head towards the little prince. One of those yellow snakes which can kill you in a matter of seconds. Oh, he was talking to a snake, not the flower. Groping in my pocket for my revolver, I started running. But because of the noise I was making, the snake gently slipped back into the sand like the dying spray of a fountain, and in no apparent hurry disappeared among the stones with a light metallic sound. I reached the wall just in time to catch my little prince in my arms. His face was white as snow. What does this mean? I asked him. Why are you talking with snakes? I had untied the golden muffler which never left him. I had moistened his temples and given him a little water to drink. And now I didn't dare ask him any more questions. He looked at me gravely and put his arms around my neck. I could feel his heart beating like the heart of a dying bird, shot with someone's rifle. He said to me,
I'm so glad you discovered what was the matter with your engine. Now you can go home.
"How did you know?" In fact, I was coming to tell him that, contrary to all expectations, my endeavors had been successful. He didn't reply to my question, but whispered,
I too am going home today.
Then he added a little sadly,
It is much farther away. It is far more difficult.
I could sense that something quite extraordinary was about to happen. I was holding him tightly in my arms like a child, and yet it seemed to me that he was slipping straight down into an abyss, and I could do nothing to prevent it. His gaze was grave and lost in the distance.
I have your sheep, and I have the box for the sheep, and I also have the muzzle.
And he smiled sadly. I waited for a long time. I could feel that little by little he was getting warmer.
My dear little man, you were afraid.
Of course he had been frightened, but he laughed gently.
I shall be far more frightened this evening.
What's gonna happen in the evening? Is he gonna say bye-bye forever? Once again, I was frozen by a sense of something irreparable. And I realized that I couldn't bear the thought of never hearing that laughter again. It was like a spring of fresh water in the desert for me.
Little prince, I want to hear you laughing again.
What he said to me.
Tonight, it will be a year. My star will be just above the spot where I came down a year ago.
Little prince, I said, tell me it was just a bad dream, the story of a snake and of a meeting and a star. But he did not answer my question. Instead, he said to me,
What is important cannot be seen.
Yes, I know.
Just as for the flower, if you love a flower which happens to be on a star, it is sweet at night to gaze at the sky. All the stars are right of flowers.
Yes, I know.
It is the same with the water. The draught you gave me was just like music, because of the pulley and the rope. You remember, don't you? It was sweet.
Yes, I know.
At night, you will gaze at the stars. Where I live, everything is so small that I cannot show you where mine is. It is better like that. My star will just be one of the stars for you, so you will love looking up at them all. They will all be your friends, and I have a present for you.
Sorry, this soundtrack, I can't. He laughed again.
Ah, little prince, my dear little prince, I love to hear that laughter. Precisely, that will be my gift, as it was with the water.
What are you saying?
The stars mean different things to different people. For some, they are nothing more than twinkling lights in the sky. For travelers, they are guides. For scholars, they are food for thought. For my businessmen, they are wealth. But for everyone, the stars are silent, except from now on, just for you.
What do you mean?
When you look up at the sky at night, since I shall be living on one of them and laughing on one of them, for you it will be as if all the stars were laughing. You and only you will have stars that can laugh.
And as he said it, he laughed.
And when you are comforted, time soothes all sorrows. You will be happy to have known me. You will always be my friend. You will want to laugh with me, and from time to time you will open your window, just for the pleasure of it. And your friends will be astonished to see you laughing while gazing at the sky. And so you will say to them, Yes, stars always make me laugh. And they will think you are crazy. I shall have played a very naughty trick on you.
And once again he laughed.
It will be as if I had given you, instead of stars, a lot of little bells that can laugh.
Illustration time. And again he laughed. Then he became serious again.
Tonight, do not come.
I shall not leave you.
I shall seem to be in pain. I shall look as if I were dying. It is like that. Do not come to see that. There's just no point.
I shall not leave you. But he was worried.
I am telling you this partly because of the snake. It must not bite you. Snakes are vicious creatures. They can't bite just for the fun of it.
I shall not leave you. But a thought reassured him.
It is true that they have no poison left for a second bite.
That night I did not see him set out. He had left without a sound. When I managed to catch up with him, he was walking along with a quick and resolute step. He merely said to me,
"Oh, you're here."
And he took me by the hand, but he was still worrying.
"You should not have come. You will be unhappy. I shall look as if I were dead, and it will not be true."
I said nothing.
"You must understand, it is too far. I cannot carry this body with me. It is too heavy."
I said nothing.
"You will look like an old-fashioned shell, not anything to be sad about."
I said nothing. He was a little discouraged, but he made one last effort. He's like, "No, sayonara."
"It will be nice, I too shall look at the stars. All the stars will be wells with rusty pulleys. All the stars will pour me some water to drink."
I said nothing.
"It will be such fun. You will have 500 million little bells. I shall have 500 million springs of fresh water."
And he too said nothing more because he was crying.
"Here it is. Let me go on by myself."
And he sat down because he was afraid. Then he said,
My flower, I am responsible for her. And she's so weak, so trusting. She has 4 tiny thorns to protect herself against the world."
I sat down because I could not remain standing any longer. He said,
"There now. That is all."
He hesitated a little more, then he stood up. He took one step forward. I couldn't move. There was nothing more than a flash of yellow close to his ankle. He stood motionless for a moment. He did not cry out. He fell as gently as a tree falls. There was not even the slightest sound because of the sand. Zep. Went back to his star. Chapter 27. And I believe probably the last chapter now. Oh my god, guys. Oh my god, it's 1 a.m. We're gonna be done soon. Chapter 27. And now, 6 years have already gone by. I have never before told this story. The companions who met me when I returned were glad to see me alive. I was sad, but told them I was tired. Now, I have overcome part of my sorrow. In other words, I have recovered, but not entirely. I do know that he has gone back to his planet because I did not find his body at daybreak. It wasn't such a heavy body after all, and I love to listen to the stars at night. It is like listening to 500 million little bells. But one thing worries me. When I drew the muzzle for the little prince, I forgot to add the leather strap to it. He would never be able to fasten it to his sheep. So I keep wondering what has happened on his planet. Perhaps the sheep has eaten the flower. From time to time, I say to myself, surely not. The little prince covers his flower every night with her glass dome and watches his sheep carefully. Then I am happy, and all the stars laugh softly. But then I think, everyone can be absent-minded at times, and it only takes once. He forgot the glass dome one evening, or the sheep slipped out noiselessly during the night, and the little bells all changed themselves into tears. This is indeed a great mystery. For those of you who, like me, love The Little Prince. Nothing in the universe can be the same. Well, somewhere, nobody knows where, a sheep which we have never seen may or may not have eaten a flower. Look at the sky. Ask yourselves, has the sheep eaten the flower? Yes or no? And you will see how everything changes. And no grown-ups will ever understand why it is so important. The end. Look at this. The Little Prince went back. I guess it is like a story about like imagination, seeing like the importance, like small little things. And as they said, like the important things are like invisible. There's one last page here that says, "This is to me the most beautiful and saddest landscape in the world. It is the same landscape as in the last picture, but I have drawn it once again to impress it upon your memory. It is here that the little prince appeared on earth and then disappeared. Look very carefully at the landscape so as to be sure to recognize it if ever one day you travel to Africa through the desert. And if you should happen to come upon the spot, please do not hurry on. Wait a little, exactly under the star. Then, if a child comes towards you, if he laughs, if he has golden locks, and if he refuses to answer questions, you will surely guess who he is. So be kind. Do not leave me grieving. Write to me quickly to tell me that he has come back."
The end.
Ta-da! This was very vibey. Oh my gosh! We took like 4 hours to read this. What do you think of the book? I love the vibes that it gave. But I feel like I have to do like a literature deep dive now. What do we think? Thank you for the bedtime story, Dawn. No problem. I hope you guys can sleep in peace or work in peace. We did not learn any new vocab after the 3 words, but I think 3 words is quite enough for a day. 3 new words at least. And I really like how like they're like, oh, now you can like reimagine the landscape of like looking at a moon. It was a good time. I'm glad. I will now go on a, oh my frick, I'm scared myself. I want to go on a literature deep dive real quick because I might find things that I didn't even think about before. This is why I always do, like, after I watch any show or I read like any book that I can't fully like understand. Little Prince, literature analysis. That's right, that's how we appreciate books here, okay? Oh, we got Spark Notes for it. Wow, amazing. My favorite part is the 6, 7. Remember, that was chapter 18. That was chapter 18. Alright, let's look at some literature. Oh, sorry, I opened my window too big. Okay. I used to do that with a lot of media. Would go to like TV tropes and the like. Yeah, like this one's kind of a mystery to me. Like there's no like very obvious plot line going on. Let's see what people say. Okay, I'm gonna read you like a book analysis thing, right? The Little Prince is a fable-like tale that mingles the story of a lonely, stranded narrator with a story of a young traveler facing his own troubles. The prince's problem, an attempt to understand love, creates an embedded conflict resolution plotline, but the unnamed pilot who serves as first-person narrator is the work's protagonist. He is present at the story's beginning, comments throughout its events, and writes in its conclusion 6 years after the events have passed. This is a first for me? You mean what, the 6, 7? Or reading the book, or... literature analyzing. The prince's conflict is revealed in his conversations with the narrator and is interwoven throughout the narrative. It arises from his inability to understand a rose, a singular but standoffish beauty that he is too young to know how to love. He leaves his planet to learn about life, seeking an answer, but meets unhelpful grown-ups who want him to serve them. They are so enmeshed in their own concerns that they hardly notice him. Only a few bother to help. Finally, the prince learns his answer about love from the fox, who teaches him what it means to belong to someone. You mean to be tamed by them, like the Omega is. The whole thing? Well, this was my first time reading it too, so if you're confused, I'm also confused at some parts, so I'm reading something now that may or may not help. What matters the foxes is not what people can measure or see. Instead, what makes each being unique is invisible. This is why the Princess Rose matters to him, even in a world full of roses. Once the prince, after nearly a year of wandering Earth, has his answer, he can help the narrator with the larger story's conflict. The narrator who crashed in the Sahara faces an immediate conflict. He must survive against the elements, yet a more enduring conflict troubles him. He, too, must learn that anything essential is invisible to the eyes. He presents himself as someone who has never felt at home among grown-ups. He certainly did not as a child, and as an adult, he reports, "I live all alone, no one understands him," until he meets the prince. This meeting is the story's inciting incident, not the crash or the race to fix the plane's engine before the water runs out, but the 5 words that wake the pilot the day after the crash. "Please draw me a sheep." The rising action is developed mainly in a series of conversations between the pilot and the prince that gradually establish ties between them, as the fox puts it, so that they come to belong to one another. The pilot recaptures the childlike sense of wonder that he had given up finding among grown-ups, as adult after adult fails the test of drawing number 1, a test the prince easily passes. Aww. Throughout the rising action, however, the serious matters of adult life repeatedly distract the narrator from the prince's concerns. One conversation in particular highlights this conflict. The narrator, exasperated that he cannot repair the plane's engine, a matter of life and death, snaps at the prince when the child expresses concern that the sheep may eat the rose. When the child weeps over his beloved rose, the narrator adjusts his own perspective and comforts him. The serious matters of adult life cause grown-ups to forget that nothing matters more than a relationship with the beloved, as painful and complicated as that relationship can be. This essential truth is reinforced as the prince describes the very strange grown-ups he meets during his travels, whose lives lack meaning because they do not belong to another person, as the prince belongs to his rose, and she to him. As the prince describes these encounters, the narrator realizes that he has not found a place to belong in the grown-up world, which rejects his deepest desires as unserious. Yet, the threat to the narrator's life persists as the action moves towards the climax. As the mysterious child leads the narrator through the desert to find a well, they speak of beauty hidden in secret places. The narrator loves the prince ever more deeply as he carries the sleeping child through the night. In the morning, they find a well where no well should exist, and the narrator understands that the search for the mysterious well makes his water more than physically satisfying. It was the journey that mattered the whole time, the friends we made along the way. Having recaptured essential truths during his desert sojourn, the narrator is suddenly and somewhat mysteriously able to repair the plane. He can return to the adult world, but he must do so without the beloved to whom he now belongs. The story's climax comes when the prince returns home to his rose. As the fox predicted, the moment of parting is painful. During the brief falling action, the narrator returns safely to his worried friends. He's so changed that his perception of life, too, is transformed. Relationships now matter more to him than serious adult concerns. The narrator's deepened understanding of the beauty hidden in the heart of all things resolves the conflict that troubled him. Yet, this resolution is incomplete because the narrator misses the prince desperately. He pleads with anyone who meets the prince to send word immediately and end his grief. Because the narrator is still so lonely, the prince's return so unlikely, the story's tone is bittersweet through to its final sentence. Wow. I mean, I felt that, but like I didn't know, like people who can put this into words are amazing. Ah. What a warm little story. Let me see if there are any other like cool takes for it. Yeah, it's really about like seeing and rediscovering like the important things. What a heartwarming little story. Looking at some Reddit posts. Someone says, I needed a novella to read on my train ride and I'm so glad. My friend suggested The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry and said you might learn something about life. For the first few pages, I loved how the language was so lucid with cute little illustrations here and there, but then I realized the story is so much more than that. The prince's affection towards the rose and her lies, his adventures to other planets revealing how self-centered grown-ups are, the interaction with the fox, etc. I personally loved this fox story. Reminded me of another thing I read somewhere along the lines of you don't choose someone perfect, you choose someone and then work on making them perfect. I'm definitely messing this up. If someone can please come with a real quote here. And as much as it may look like this is definitely not a children's book, some of the most beautiful quotes I came across. Also, I read on how people who read it first as a child and then reread it as an adult found great values in it, which must have been nice. I think that if you read this as a child, the main message would have completely like went over your head. It would just have been like an adventure. And you would not have gotten like a single, like, you know, moral of the story, like the real stuff, you know. Oh, the French use in it is beautiful. The French, it is a book that is read differently at, oh yeah, this book was French and it's translated. It is a book that is read differently at each age. As a child, it's about a fairy tale. As an adolescent, it is about needing to explore the world and rebellion against the bourgeois. As an adult, it is about the difficulty of commitment. As a senior, it is about loss and what you should have appreciated when you could. Man. I don't think the Little Prince died. I mean, he just left, you know, he left the planet, right? He left his little shell of a body back. I'm, you know, thinking that he died is kind of sad. Sadder than it should be, but yeah. Okay, guys. Well, that was it for the Little Prince. If you guys have any sort of you know, recommendations, you can always let me know. I don't know, on Instagram. Oh, also I have like a Discord, but I think like I kept it with my channel points because I just want to make sure like not any random person can access the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, you can see, I think, I don't know how many channel points it takes, but if you state the song, you probably have enough channel points. Anyways, you can let me know anywhere, and I will read any book that you would recommend as well. Otherwise, next time I will just try, like, find another cool story, and yeah. Okay, Mikachu. Join Donut Discord. Oh my god, I forgot how to do this. I have to give you the Discord. 1 second. 2 seconds? Valley Girl? Oh my god, you want me to speak in Valley Girl like now? Like after I finish the whole book? Nostalgic? A fun way to send. Okay. Okay, girl. Like, I get it. Give me a second, okay? Like, I'm just trying to check out the friggin' like Discord for Mikashare. Just 1 sec. Oh my god, it's taking so long to load. I have like I've not opened Discord on my computer in a while, so 1 moment, please. I'm sorry, I'm such a boomer. Let me see who we can like let in. I mean, like raid. Well, my Discord like does the thingy. Like, I think everyone in my time zone is pretty much like asleep right now. So, let me. How do I let people in again? Oh my god. Oh my god. Invite to server. Okay. I got the link for you. Let me just DM you real quick, make sure. Twitch. Oh my god, Slay. Make sure, just 1 second, okay? 1 second. How do I bring in DM you? I'm such a boomer. Oh, I found it. Maker. Sure. Here you go. Here's the Discord link. Did you get it? How come it's not sending? Let me know if you got it. Girl, what the hell is... I mean, girl, what is this? Did you even get anything? Did you get a message? I sent it over on Twitch. On the Twitch. This is so fetch. Yes. Thanks, guys. I mean, thanks, girls. Twinsies. Let me see who we can raid right now. Like, I am not really familiar with anyone who's like... Let's see. Maybe we can find someone else who's like just chatting or something, you know? Maybe we can find someone that we've never raided before. Or if you guys have anyone then who's online and would like me for me right, like that would be so fetch as well. Like, oh my god, girl, looking for someone. Yeah, I'm looking for someone to raid. Definitely like a Sister Slays. Don't Reaper. What are they playing? Or like, are they also doing like oh, I see. Yakuza Kiwami 3. Oh my god, slay.
Drunkenness has levels and these effects.
Oh my god, let's go. Oh my god. Sure. It's very on brand. Yeah, I mean, I'm down for like anyone playing like Yakuza. Like, I would totally just raid. I just have to make sure that I get the raid through. You know what I mean? Like the last time I raided, like it didn't even raid properly, so I was so embarrassed. Like I raided my friend Bimu and it didn't even go through. What the hell? Oh my god, my sister just video called me. I will have to stay up until 3 AM today again because European timing. Totally want to accidentally end before raiding. Oh my god, please. I hope not. Of course, girl, you did. Thank you. Thank you also for like the recommendation. Let me just start the raid, okay? Like, Dumb Reaper. I copy and paste that, so it should not have like any
like typos per se. Okay, let me just set the raid message. This is for if you don't have emotes, which is fine. Let me just type the other one. Here to plug your Donahoe. Where's my donut? Okay. You can use this one. Oh my god, you got me, Hua. What the hell? Like, oh my god. Okay, let's go and raid. Dawn Reaper is playing Yakuza Kiwami 3. I played Kiwami 3, and it was not as fun as 0. I love 0, I'm sorry. But let's go say hi. It says, "And viewers are ready to raid Dawn Reaper." Okay, you guys, just make sure that you have the raid message prepared, okay? And I'm gonna just say ta-ta and good night to you, girlies. Remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment section below. And also, click on the bell for notifications. And I will see you next time, which is, I don't know when, maybe like Yakuza again this Friday. If you will so indulge me. Have a good night. Oh, yeah, okay. Well, thank you for the jokes. And have a nice little staring. Oh my god, it's raining now. Bye, guys.
Give you beam! I haven't seen that movie in so long, though.